I don't buy that Android shit.
Yeah.
I'm quite impressed that you knew which handset it was.
Do you know what? My kids won't listen to this, but I bought all the family Pixels for Christmas.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Do they listen to this
No.
Christmas?
Yeah. No, they don't.
They don't listen.
I mean, they might make an exception. I might have just fucked Christmas up.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the final Telecoms.com podcast of the year. And as has become tradition now, I mean, we didn't design it that way, but it's become tradition. We have the lovely Elena from Liberty, who you did a great job. Last year we had to do it remotely because of the fucking trains.
Train strikes, yeah.
But yeah, we're having a Christmas quiz. So we're not going to talk about any news other than the news that you quiz us about.
Yep.
And the basic point of it is for you to highlight how shit we are at our jobs because we won't get many of the answers right.
Well, no, you were pretty good last year.
Did we?
Were we?
Yeah,
Who won?
You were. Ian won.
Ian won.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm feeling all competitive.
It was quite close.
To be fair, Ian spends a lot more time actually doing telecoms.
Yeah.
I was chatting about it. Like you spend like close to 100% of your time writing. I probably only spend about 25% of my time writing. So that's my excuse. I'm getting my excuse in early. Getting my mitigation in early. And then the flip side is if I win, then it's like, oh my God, I won and I'm only doing this quarter of the time.
Well, you just set that up to really embarrass me now.
Exactly. You know me too well. So that's what we're going to do. And actually, I know you've outdone yourself, seeing as we're actually meeting in person.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time you came in for the pod in person, you left a couple of diet gin and tonics behind, and we just kept referring to them. Do you remember for years?
I know.
And she has again. She's gone up market this time. She's gone M&S. She's
What are the last ones?
money is no object for this woman.
The other ones
The other ones are M&S.
They were.
Oh, were they? I thought they were like Gordon's. Or
No.
whatever. Oh, were they M&S?
No, you might be right. Might be Gordon's. Yeah.
Might have been good. And nice to see you sticking to the diet gin and
Well, I
tonic.
had
Can't have
to
you getting all
after they
fat
were-
while you have
well,
gin
they
and tonic.
You referenced them so much
Yeah.
for so long.
Now
I
it's just
couldn't
become
not
a thing.
bring them. Yeah, it's a
Become
thing.
a fixture.
It's a thing.
And you were very generous. You brought a bunch of beers. We're having some neck oils now, and we've got the
You haven't had nickel in a while, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I was wondering what they're like. Actually, we got to give a shout out to Craig from Vasex, which we find funny because it sounds a bit like vasectomy. Sorry, Craig. Presumably, that joke's not lost on people who work for that company. I mean, it's a funny name, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
But they're like a BSS OSS software vendor, and they're also a client at Liberty. So I feel a bit guilty taking a piss out one of your clients.
They've all got good senses of humour.
Good. No, he was a really great guy, actually. Yeah. Joking aside, he was really good company, although he was an hour late as well. But his mitigation was it's only his second time in England, and he asked his hotel
South Africa.
for directions, and they said just get on the Piccadilly line, which is shit directions because we're nowhere near the Piccadilly line here.
Yeah, it was.
So it's actually his hotel's fault.
Yeah.
But he did turn up, and he's great company. He's a good bloke.
He's
I told him he's welcome on the pod anytime.
Great.
If he decides that it's professionally expedient for him to be recorded in this sort of company.
Yeah.
But that was really cool, and it was a really nice lunch, and it was great to see Jen, your colleague Jen, who I've known, like, for people who don't know the background,
Yes.
I've known Jen for so long that her husband Mike is the person who used to do this job before me.
Yep.
And it's basically because of him that I got this job. So thanks, Mike. I bet he doesn't listen, do you, Mike? Bet you don't. But no, it's great to see her. She's great company.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been up to. And so we're about 3 pints in already. And about 4 trips to the bog in already. And we're worried that we're just going to be incontinent throughout this whole thing.
Or the rest of our lives, maybe.
All the rest of our lives. Yeah, it's getting to that stage already, isn't it? Like safety pants time. And so I suppose that counts as a bribe of the week. Another bribe of the week I got shout out is Huawei. They sent me a box of nice Belgian chocolates. So thanks, Huawei. My kids are already coveting them. And then one more little bribe of the week. I arrived here and Nokia had sent me stuff. So as we covered a few pods ago, I was going to go with Ian on a trip to Lapland with them.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make it for reasons I detailed on the pod. And they kindly sent me some of the merch that they gave Ian when I was there. So thanks a lot, Nokia. Cheers. And then, other bribe of the week, other than, as we were joking, where Elena, just her company alone constitutes a bribe.
It's the best bribe.
But you also brought us a bunch of beers, so
Did.
thanks for that.
Some really strong ones.
And some, oh God, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, this is one.
You will have to.
I've got to show you what you're going to have.
Oh, I'm having it, am I?
No, I don't think that's a good idea, actually.
No one can hear you. You've moved too far away.
Sorry, I've moved away. So there's this one, which is called Stiggy Pop. And it's, read out the percentage.
7.3%.
Damn.
Yeah.
So-
Stiggy pop. It's for people when they come off heroin, is it?
Do you know what I mean? It's like, or you could have Escape the City. What's the percentage on that?
7.4.
I mean,
Right,
what's going on, Elena?
I'll have one if you have the other.
No, I don't think.
It's Christmas.
It is Christmas. When are you going to drink it otherwise? In January? No.
Well,
And it's your first drink in a while, guys, so you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We haven't had anything all week.
it's not like we haven't been pissed the last 2 nights.
Nah.
So actually, it was some more stuff we've been up to. Wednesday night we went out with BT/OpenReach,
Yeah.
and that ended up getting quite messy.
It's a tough job, isn't it, this?
Because you started us on the Negronis from about 7, and when you're on when you're on cocktails, and
From
short
7?
cocktail,
It was,
7 or 8,
I blame
Okay.
Paolo for that, Paolo Pescatori,
yeah.
because I saw him
see him.
drinking a Negroni, and obviously I went.
You joined in.
I'll
He
have
had
it.
a Christmas jumper to rival yours.
Did he? Oh,
Yeah.
do you like my Christmas jumper?
His had
pretty
little
good one.
buttons over the nipples.
Do you know he had one on at the BT press conference the week before?
Did it?
With a carrot actually coming out of the jumper, like a carrot nose.
just
with
naughty,
the
isn't it?
snowman coming out. It was very naughty.
So he
yeah.
has more than one Christmas
I think he
jumper.
basically is just going through a sequence of Christmas jumpers at
Wow.
Prestige that he's at.
That's amazing.
But nobody else makes the effort these days, so he's got to sort of make
No,
up
and
for
even you've made the effort, and I've just got my sort of tattered old GNR
the
t-shirt.
cardigan on.
And then last night we had our own Christmas party, which is just us lot going to the pub, and then we had Nando's after, and I knocked a big bottle of peri peri sauce over and smashed it on the table, so that wasn't ideal.
Yeah, over one of our
Yeah,
colleagues.
sorry, colleagues. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap up of what we've been up to since the last pod.
Yep.
So what am I going to say? And this will be the last of the year, so you won't hear from us probably till 10th of January or something like that. So you got to enjoy this one because it's all you got for a month. I'm going to say, Elena.
I want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to do City of the Year, which
Yeah.
So there's a problem with the insights on the website right now. It says we're aware of some discrepancies on your insights. Thank you for your patience as we work to resolve the
Right.
issue.
How do you know I'm being patient? That's really presumptuous of them, isn't it?
But I can safely say the City of the Year is London. I would have liked to give you a podium, but I can't right now.
It's not giving you the analytics.
No.
Well, that's good because then the other city of the year will be like Kathmandu or something really random.
No, it'll be an American city.
Yeah.
No, but sometimes we get like the city of the week or the month is
Well,
a
actually-
really obscure place.
the past
Yes.
week it says Paramaribo.
All right, is that in Venezuela?
No, Paramaribo.
Is it in Brazil?
Paramaribo.
Never even
Guyana.
heard of it.
I've not heard of
Paramaribo.
Paramaribo. It is in Suriname.
Suriname, that's next
Close.
door to Guyana.
Oh, well done, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. It's
You've been really
sandwiched
happy
between
on recently
Guyana
or
and
something.
French Guyana.
Didn't I read that Venezuela was going to invade Guyana?
No,
They changed their minds.
he won't do anything, but they want to
Right.
claim basically.
There's a bit of saber
oil
rattling. Yeah, they want some oil fields
and gold.
and go. Well, that's fair enough. I think I'll give them a green light to invade. That's a good reason to invade.
Well, they're small. There's no
Well, I
one
think
there,
the
so it's
Guyana
easy.
people
You
will-
can win that one.
Okay. Anyway, this is not a geopolitical podcast. I got to say one other thing where Elena's outdone herself. You've actually bought props
Yeah.
this year, so I don't know if it comes through on the audio, but we've basically got these buttons, and it's funny when you were carrying your bag up, they sometimes just go off.
Yeah.
So we've got these buttons. So it's like a proper game show
Yeah.
scenario.
So you hit the buzzer.
So my buzzer is this. Do your buzzer. That's your buzzer. And then, Lena, you've got a wrong answer and right answer button. What's the wrong answer button?
That's a very wrong answer.
It's really wrong answer. And then
That's the right answer. I think those are good buttons. Well done.
this is going to get so annoying for everyone.
It is,
Well,
especially for people who speed it up to listen to it,
Yeah.
which some people do, as we know.
Yeah, well, they might speed this one right.
Shout out to Dean Buckley.
Put this on 20 times speed and go, oh, thank God that's over. Okay, so I think I've done enough semi-drunken rambling
Yeah, I
already.
need a beer if we go.
You're gonna need a
Give me
beer.
Yeah.
Do you want one of the?
you want-
7.5%
No,
ones?
don't give me a crazy one. Just give me a 4% one.
There's a nice 4% one.
Oh, but isn't it? I have this all the time. Is there?
Look at him being all high maintenance.
Yeah.
All right.
Picky.
There should be a nice, what are those Gypsy Hill ones?
Hepcat Session IPA 4.6.
That's perfect for you.
Nice. Ooh, and it's cold. Beautiful.
Jolly good. So
Great.
I think I'm just going to say, take it away,
Okay.
Elena.
So just for everybody who might be playing along at home,
Mm-hmm.
all of the questions are from Telecoms.com.
Right.
And they're in chronological order. So
Okay, well, that helps.
might help you in your
Although it means
answers.
that we're going to fuck the first ones up the most, isn't it?
You've got a
Because they're from
massive
January.
advantage. You should get all of these right.
We all cover the same stuff. And actually, as I just covered, I wouldn't written most of them anyway.
Yeah, Nick and Mary write a lot of them, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's see. So now we've both
Won
got
last year.
both got our mitigation in, and now let's just get on with it.
Ready?
Cool.
So you read the question, and we have
Yeah,
to
and you
hit
have to hit the
buzzers to be
button.
the first person to be able to come in and
Yeah,
answer.
but if you get it wrong,
The
you're
other person
frozen
passes
out.
over to the other
Yeah.
person. Right.
That's it. I was about to say because we haven't had any kind of like chat about the methodology or.
We'll just work it out.
Is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
multiple choice?
Some of them not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the choices. Okay.
Okay, you'll see as we go along. Right, question 1. So from January last year. Who did Telecoms.com name as the UK's fastest 5G provider? Ian?
EE.
No.
Oh shit! I mean, we didn't name him. We would have just reported on someone
Yeah.
else talking about it, isn't it?
Reported
Fastest 5G provider. I'm trying to think who's had that bit of spin in their marketing. I'm thinking maybe 3.
Yeah.
Hey,
There you go, 1 point.
suck on that.
But rubbish coverage.
I would have said Vodafone. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends. You know,
I want to know
Like-
what Howard Watson's got to say about
well,
that.
he always wins all the root metrics ones, doesn't it?
Mm.
So they will have cherry picked someone else, whoever, Ookla or whatever, that said they're the fastest. But yeah, it was ringing a
At the
bell.
one base station they tested,
Yeah, exactly. Where someone
it
was
was
just
better in this
someone was
area.
literally sat on a radio.
it's like perfect condition. I think they were plugged in. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, second one. Which major international telecoms operator made changes to their upper management to champion sustainability in their business? Scott?
I'm going to go orange.
No, frozen out.
That's
Sorry.
it. You're
Oh,
forgetting.
yay. They made changes to champion sustainability at the very top,
Yeah.
and it's an operator.
Yeah.
International operator.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
I think you've got to go with what's written on the card, Ian. You can't ask for extra clues off Elena.
Deutsche Telekom.
No.
Oh.
So neither of you got that one.
Yeah.
It's Telia.
Oh, yeah.
Should have gone with a
Should have
Scandi.
gone with, yeah.
They're pretty right on up there, aren't they?
Well, Greta Thunberg.
Well, there we go. Perhaps it's her. She's like VP of virtue signalling.
Okay, now we've got another round, an extra bonus round that we didn't have last year. It's
Okay.
a pop quiz round.
Okay.
Take
What does
you
that mean?
take you beyond telecoms.
Oh, this is just
Well,
random stuff.
we link telecoms,
Oh,
but
okay.
the question is about pop
oh my
and
god.
music. So, in the same week that Telecoms.com reported on Virgin Orbit's failed attempt at launching the Cosmic Girl 747 satellite, which popular American singer released her chart-topping single, Flowers?
I know.
Right.
If you don't.
Billie Eilish.
No.
Oh my God. Who's been in the news all year?
Taylor Swift.
Ah.
Is it?
No. It's Miley Cyrus.
Oh my God. I thought it was Taylor Swift.
Oh, of course.
He was so sure.
Happy
He was
that
so-
he got it right and absolutely
so sure.
I
saying
was so smart.
Billie Eilish.
Oh.
Yeah. I think who was it?
Miley
Miley
Cyrus.
Cyrus. Wow.
Miley Cyrus.
I have heard of her.
Yes.
Her dad was Billy Ray Cyrus.
He
Yeah.
still is. He's not
And she had that video where she was swinging around on a ball.
She did.
Rock-
She did.
wrecking ball.
Yeah,
There we
wrecking
go.
ball. Okay, so now we're into February. In February, it was announced that a self-driving bus trial will commence in Cambridge next year. What is the name of the trial?
Oh, pretty sure it's Vodafone involved with it, but that's not what you're asking.
No.
What's the name of the trial? No, that's too specific for my addled brain. Shall I have a joke guess?
You have to press your buzzer.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm giving everyone the treat of my stream of consciousness bullshit that goes through my head. Is it Mickey's Monkey Spunk Moped?
No.
But it should be.
That's very
Too much
niche.
boat face.
Yeah.
No, it's not
That's
that.
it. You get to have a guess. now.
I don't know. What's the name of that?
It's
Google
in
thing?
Cambridge.
It's in Cambridge.
You're thinking Waze.
I don't know. University assisted driving.
No, the Cambridge Connect. Oh no, the Cambridge Connector project.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky, that one.
It was a bit.
You've got to challenge you though.
Well, yes. There's challenging and there's
There's
just-
the experts in. You're the experts in the space.
you know, maybe this is where there's been a miscommunication.
Okay, well, next one, see if you can claw it back. Microsoft integrated ChatGPT into their Bing search engine and Edge browser, which prompted a series of unusual interactions, resulting in Microsoft limiting chat times and issuing strict guidance for the AI. Before these regulations were in place, what name did the AI give itself?
Oh, what did ChatGPT call itself? God, did it have a girl's name? I think it might have. But I don't know, so I'm going to do a silly guess. Dave.
GPT-4.
No, Sydney.
Sydney.
Do you remember?
Vaguely.
really, yeah.
I mean, that's not... I mean, it can be a girl's name, but
Yeah.
you get girls called Sydney, don't you?
Yeah,
For some
probably.
reason.
And boys
So-
called Sydney.
Yeah.
Sydney Poitiers.
Yeah.
It's a neutral.
Yeah. It's like Chris.
It's very current.
Okay. We're not doing very well, are we?
Well, we're now into March.
Okay. And we've, between us, got one thing
You've got
right.
one point.
Yeah.
You,
You haven't got any right.
you only had 3 to pick from on that anyway.
We'll get some more multiple choice questions going
Yeah,
a
we
little
need
bit
them.
later.
Evidently.
Oh, by the way, we should... Elena brought the antlers as well.
Yeah.
Do you think they suit me?
They look good. You should wear...
Bonus.
You said you've never done footballing, but I reckon you should sport that look more
Do
often.
you think an Alice band in general is a good look for me?
That's how it's called. Alice Band.
Yeah. After Alice in Wonderland.
Oh.
What do they call it in French?
I don't know.
Little Alice band.
Serre-tête, which is like a head tight, I guess.
Right.
Translate to.
Head
Yeah.
tight, okay.
Like a head. Head squeeze. Yeah.
Squeeze, okay.
Very, very literal.
They do squeeze your head, actually. They're quite
They
uncomfortable.
don't have Lewis Carroll in France.
Yeah, you need... Yeah. Need to change that up here.
Okay, how did Rishi Sunak overshadow the announcement of the science and technology framework that promised to make the UK a tech superpower by 2030? Do you remember what he did?
He did a Roland Rat impression.
You did a 1-to-1 with Elon Musk.
No. Well, he did that,
But
but
that was later. That was a different thing.
no. He shared a QR code to Twitter that couldn't be accessed because the majority of users look at Twitter on their smartphones and not their laptops.
Oh, that's so stupid. Yeah.
Oh, right. So obviously you can't scan a QR code on your phone.
With a mirror?
Yeah.
No, how would that work? Yeah. No.
Yeah. Do you know what? Google slightly confused me because you used to have to get an app up or a mode within the camera for the lens. And now it just recognises the QR code straight away without you having to tell it to get into QR code mode.
Oh, yeah. Same thing with the iPhone. You just point the camera.
And it just
And the
knows
link
that it's a
appears.
thing.
Yeah.
I think there's been a big hack, hasn't there, today or yesterday with QR codes? I think.
Well, I had to, like last night when we went for Nando's, so there's a few beers in, I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling at my most mentally agile. And then I sat down and I was like, all right, we'll have a shitload of chicken.
Right, as you do.
And they were like, yeah, but you got to do it through the app on the QR code. And I was like, oh my God. And yeah, it took me a little while to get my head around it.
That's a legacy from COVID, isn't it? When we didn't have menus for some reason.
That's right, because if you touched them, you get the plague.
Yeah.
You just went to
Weird.
give me it at once. Now.
Or
You don't know I
banknotes
am.
apparently as well.
Yeah, but there were all sorts of things you couldn't touch. I mean, God, it was so annoying. I mean, we went over it loads of times when it happened. My very limited knowledge of like epidemiology and stuff from my degree, I was like, you don't catch viruses off touching stuff.
Yeah.
No.
You don't. Bacteria,
You're not a
maybe.
doctor. It's not
Bacteria,
medical
maybe.
advice.
Well, 'cause viruses are much more fragile than bacteria, and they can't live outside of like their host environment for very long at all. So you can catch it from like people sneezing or breathing in your face or something like that, but not from door handles.
Well, it was just a smokescreen for introducing digital money,
Well, yeah,
You need to try to pay cash.
so that no one can pay cash anymore in London.
Yeah.
and that is the
And
thing. Have you noticed that,
That's-
Elena?
Yeah, but
Because-
I like it.
Because
I
of
don't
widespread
carry cash around.
stupidity that it's got, based on people not knowing what they're talking about, everybody just went along with it, and now we've got this situation where you can't
I
use
think it's
cash.
great for all the crime that's going on. There's a lot of businesses who like only take cash because they're dodging taxes. Now they're not.
Well,
You need
I'm
to
all in
use
favour
your-
of dodging taxes, so I'll disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, but then if all the businesses are dodging taxes, then you have to pay more taxes to compensate.
Nah, that's what they tell you.
You like the convenience of it,
Yeah,
but you would want the flexibility of being able to use cash as well.
yeah, you do. want the
Presumably.
flexibility.
Well,
Not to mention the more sinister implications of everything being.
Well, that's what I was going to ask Elena
Yeah,
about.
true.
Like, do you ever think? I know it's a little bit tinfoil hatty and a bit conspiracy theoristy, but do you ever think about how if everything you do leaves a digital footprint, how much easier it makes it for the man to
Yeah.
just track everything you do, and maybe even introduce social credit and like tell you off for having the wrong decision.
or just dependency on one or two payment systems, because that market's not
Well,
very
that too.
competitive.
Yeah,
and if
that,
things go
that's more of
down,
a concern, probably.
you know.
And you
You've
get
read your Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale,
Yeah.
you know, where they cancel
Yeah.
the use of women using digital money.
Yeah.
You could see that happening in some kind of dictatorship.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
you could. Yeah,
Whereas if you've got cash in your pocket and it's accepted, then
yeah.
yeah, I
it's very liberating, cash in the hand,
Should go back to-
in a way
I
that
think-
these
Let's go back
systems
to
are.
gold. Just gold coins.
just
Well,
doubloons.
but survivalists would agree with you, and that's why they all go and invest in like base metals, don't they? And
But that doesn't mean they actually get the physical stuff and put it in their house.
well, the billionaires who can afford to do, apparently, some of them.
My biggest
Really?
my biggest issue with the abandonment of cash is a sort of hybrid of what Ian was talking about, which is, I mean, it happened years ago. One of the biggest like micropayment or crowdfunding platforms is called Patreon.
Right.
And a few years ago, they just cut off a guy who's like an independent YouTuber whose name was Sargon of Akkad. His real name's Carl Benjamin, because he'd said some off-colour shit. And they just decided, so there was this real
Well, that's very
non-sequitur.
Margaret Atwood.
Yeah, so there's this real non-sequitur thing. Carl Benjamin said something they disapproved of, therefore they cut him out of financial services. I mean, the escalation is just ridiculous. And that's not to endorse whatever it is he said.
Yeah.
The other thing I don't like about it, though, is it's like, this is legal tender. Who are you to decide that I can't use it?
No.
What if they suddenly turn around tomorrow and go, you can't use digital money anymore either? We want you to come into the kitchen and do favours for us. It's like, you can't just make a rule that
Yeah.
who allowed this to go through, that suddenly you can't use cash.
Well, that's the other thing. It's so
You're right.
arbitrary.
You're right. Yeah.
Um,
So think about that next time you're celebrating digital money.
Yeah,
But
I'd
on
be
the flip
putting my
side, I
place,
do.
haven't I?
No, but I do hear you, Elena. Like the amount of stuff I just pay just by tapping my phone, like getting through
Yeah.
the tube or
That's the thing.
I just
don't
find
even
it
use my
easier.
cards anymore.
I like
use
the
my phone all the
convenience.
time.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
You've got it on Apple Pay.
and I agree. I think it's very convenient. I use it a lot, but I still like, if I've got a £20 note in my pocket, I don't want to go into a pub and be told you can't
Yeah.
use that.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't know if
everybody
you
does
ever
that.
remember us talking
What am I
about.
supposed to do with it then?
Yeah.
Don't know if you remember us talking about it on the pod, but one time, I went to a pub near here, and he wanted to pay with cash, and they wouldn't let him, and he got a proper strop on.
I think I might have been there.
Could
I'm
have
pretty
been.
sure. Yeah.
I've done it more than once, so it's possible.
That's a free beer right there.
But I mean, I actually think Ian's entitled to get a strop. I think at the time I was trying to talk him down just because I thought he's not going to get anywhere. But he's right. I mean, I agree with you in principle.
Yeah.
You're totally right to have a strop
But
about it.
the trouble is, I'm one person, and everybody else in London just went, "Oh, what the hell?"
Everyone else is
Whereas
like a
I was
lady.
saying the reason they don't
just
do this
take
in where my dad lives in Wendover, where the average age is probably 65 or something.
Well, yeah.
they'd never get away with doing that. They probably might have thought about doing it, but my dad, I mean, he wrote a letter to the pub about them raising their beer prices, and they brought them down again.
Legend!
Because he's one of their main locals, and he said, "We'll all go somewhere else in the village."
Good for him.
So, but that's people have power. They don't realise they have it, and they just go along with this crap, and it's obviously worse.
But the other one, to take it even further into like the dystopian Margaret Atwood territory, is they're also talking about creating these things called central bank digital currencies, so like Bitcoin, but controlled by central banks, by the Bank of England or whatever. And now, so if you got a combination of all your payments being electronic and them controlling this digital currency, it would be very easy if they wanted to create this social credit system. Do you know what I mean by social credit systems? Like they've got in some parts of China apparently.
Yeah.
Where basically you do get sort of you get privileges or claimed privileges taken away if you spend your money in the wrong way, or if you voice the wrong opinions on social media or whatever, and then suddenly you are completely
banned from restaurants. And
you're completely dialed into this sort of digital matrix where central control of your behaviour is suddenly massively enabled. So that's where you can. I'm not saying it will happen, and maybe I'm slightly over extrapolating it, but
it can clearly happen in a totalitarian state like China, because it already has.
And then sometimes you see things where you think, I've spoken about it loads of times on the pod. We like to think we're all like free and laissez-faire and libertarian. Well, we're not. We can be plenty totalitarian.
That was an
ourselves.
awful example of us becoming like China. I think.
Exactly.
That was one of the worst outcomes of the pandemic, actually, that whole money thing.
Fuckers.
Well, Nigel Farage and the Coots thing. That's probably another
Yes.
example.
No, that's a brilliant example. So for people who are like listening from not England or just weren't dialed into it, there's a politician in the UK who's got certain quite sort of parochial anti-immigration sort of policies. So he's not very in vogue, his opinions. And this really posh bank called Coots, just unilaterally cut him off. And they
said, didn't they, that he didn't have enough money because they have a limit, don't they, of £1 million quid or something.
His opinions aren't in vogue on social media, but they might be in vogue among people who drink in the pub in Wendover.
Oh, very much. No. I mean, there's lots of we were having that chat last night, weren't we? And it's a polarising thing.
Yeah.
But the point is,
I don't want to get there.
Most people.
Point is,
most old people in an old country.
Point is, are we going to keep letting people like Pierre in the fucking country?
I was just saying, like, no immigrants. When was the last time you saw one? I don't know, like 6 months ago when they left the house. Like,
no, well, that's a good point. And obviously, issues like that lend themselves to sort of demagogues and rabble rousing and that sort of thing. I completely concede that. But the point isn't what you think about immigration. It's whether or not someone should be debanked for having the wrong opinion. That's all. Anyway, that was a good tangent, wasn't it?
Well, it was a tangent.
Next question.
Well, let's wrap it up. Let's go back to the pub.
Yeah, well, no, we'll get back on track.
I don't know how we got to that, because it was about
digital
I
money.
think it was about QR codes, wasn't it? That's how we got there.
But this is what pod tangents are all about.
But the tangents are actually the best bit.
Well, I think they're the best bit, and I also think they're the most conversational, because if you think about when you go to a pub with a mate, conversation meanders all over the place, doesn't it?
Yeah. You don't have a set of questions.
No,
normally
you don't have an agenda,
and you don't have these things.
Sorry, mate, but you're straying from the agreed agenda of our Friday night. Doesn't happen, does it?
You don't have a PR person in the room telling you to stay on message.
What are you doing?
Putting it on.
Just wondering why you're doing it that way.
It's easier, isn't it? How'd you put it on?
Don't know. I don't think I want to talk about this anymore. I'm finding it disturbing.
Okay, moving on quickly. Which US cloud giant announced their plans to support cloud connectivity from space?
Well, there's only one.
AWS.
Yay!
I mean, it's easy because of Blue Origin, it makes sense.
Yeah.
They just, we didn't cover it. I saw it as a press release this morning. I didn't have time to write it up. They've got Project Kuiper, whatever the fuck.
That's the satellite ship.
Yeah, well, they've got some mesh of laser backhaul between all these different satellites that are doing. It all seems very clever.
Well, I tell you what, we should all be worried about that. Because they'll take over the international telecoms business and put all the national operators out of business.
Right.
And it will all be...
We'll be even more dependent.
There'll be one global operator providing telecom services, which
I think
will
we
be
need a president
AWS.
of the world, like in The Fifth Element, just like president of the world. Yeah.
And then governments, because obviously it's critical. I can't even talk anymore. It's important shit that the governments are heavily involved in, and they won't be anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've spoken about it loads of times on the pod. Every time someone, especially the three big hyperscalers that are the public cloud giants, i.e. Microsoft, Google, and AWS, every time they get involved in one more area of business, you just feel that there's this sort of further conglomeration of power and control and influence in the hands of a few. And it
would make sense for them to be in that one. I know everybody goes, it's not in their interest to be in the access network.
Do they say it in that voice?
Yeah. That's what analysts sound like.
That's what analysts sound. Is that an analyst voice?
Yeah.
Smart-ass analyst voice.
Yeah. It's not in their interest to be in the access network. It's very expensive and it's heavily regulated and etc. But if you had a global operator that was, and you could basically undercut your competition that's based on sort of terrestrial networks and doing sort of 3 or 4 networks per country.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and then you can with all their other services that you can bundle in the way that Rakuten's tried to do in Japan, but without a lot of success. They could clean up.
And then it's a great idea. Everyone gets on that network, and then there's a satellite that crashes into one, and then there's a domino effect, and then nobody has access.
Yeah, and then it's like Mad Max again and Tina Turner.
I mean, that's
all be all in one basket.
That's actually a point that I think Ian especially has made loads of times. There's this single point of failure.
Gravity.
It's a bit scary, isn't it? One other little tangent on that. A bit of news this week. I mean, it's only relevant because it concerns one of those hyperscalers. But Google just lost a jury trial about the Android platform and the billing. You know, Epic, the people who make Fortnite. Oh, yeah. They've been trying to sue Apple and Google for years because they're annoyed. Whenever you sell something on iOS or Android or Google respectively take 30%.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
It's just a massive cut. And that's what they're suing about, because they're not so much suing about them taking 30% of the price of an app, but they also make you use their billing platform. So any in-app interactions, they also take 30% off. Yeah. And anyway, and Google just lost a jury trial in the States saying that it's clearly a monopoly, because it obviously is.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's technically a duopoly, but it's a monopoly for each platform.
Yeah. It's a walled garden type thing in a way. But the other interesting legal thing at the moment that's going on actually in the UK is some geezer trying to sue the operators, isn't he? Because he says we've all been overcharged for years because but this is big. This is big news. It was in the mainstream press this week. The FT, I think, wrote about it. That this habit they have of like carrying on charging you when you've paid off your smartphone subscription means that we've all overpaid. So it's million. If he gets his way, the plan is to reimburse every single consumer in the UK to the tune of about 1,800 quid or something.
Wow, that would be
I don't know if that's actually.
See, I'm not even sure how I feel about that, because there's a bit of a sort of buyer beware thing.
Yeah.
So you get into a contract, and we know, let's say for the sake of argument, a contract now with a subsidised phone on it, you finish off paying off the cost of the handset after 2 years.
Yeah.
If you then don't sort of give yourself a reminder to renegotiate your contract, some of that's on you, I think. So I'm not sure if I totally agree with that.
Well, it depends whether they've made it clear, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit sneaky. That they
just roll it over.
They roll it over, and they don't go. The point is that they don't go. You've now paid off your the subsidies that
now's the time
cost of the equipment. Here's a range of options for you to move on to other plans, because this is how it works. You don't know. So if you were my mum or dad, they just sort of stick with it, and that's actually what a lot of people do. I think that's the point of the.
No, I agree, and I think generally regulation where the emphasis is on clearer communication.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
I mean, people are quite younger people are probably savvier about this stuff. I suspect it's older generations who don't.
I was called by a scammer today. No, sorry, 2 days ago.
Right.
They were like, this is whatever calling from 3, and I'm in the car with my daughter. Like I'm getting the call. I'm like, I see the number like from Bristol. I'm like, listen to this. I said like, let's get this guy, and he's like, yeah, we're doing a promo. I have a super promo on iPhone 15 Pro. I was like, oh, let me stop you right there. I already had one. It's like, okay, so we have this other promotion where you can get unlimited data, unlimited calls, like everything unlimited for £6 a month. And I said, oh, but I pay £12 a month for 12 gigs. He's like, yeah, so this is I'm like, but that doesn't make any sense business-wise for you guys. Why would you give me more for half the price? And he goes, yeah. First of all, as soon as I say, like, tell me more, she's like, oh, let me get, like, it goes straight to another guy. So she's like a fluffer. Like, let's go to my supervisor.
I like the way you use the word fluffy.
Yeah, great use of the word fluffer there.
But then he's like,
First time on Telecoms.
I just kept repeating like, this makes no business sense for you guys. 3, I know a bit about this. Like, why would you
Yeah.
want me to pay half price? And then he's like, yeah, your contract will be cancelled. I said, oh, can I do this for the app? No, obviously no, not through the app. You have to do
Just
this
give
right
me
now.
your bank
And-
details. I'll sort it out.
And it's like, so can you confirm your email address? And I was like, I pause. And I go, no, I'm not giving you my email address. You must have that already. And then he goes, I mean, it's fine if you don't want to. I mean, it's like mumbling and stuff. And he goes, can you just give me your email address? And I said, no. And he hung up.
Game over.
Yeah, and you hear all the people behind it doing this too.
Yeah, because it's in
Millions
some
of people.
massive sort of call centre in
Yeah.
Bombay or whatever.
I had a similar one supposedly from
Yeah.
HMRC.
Okay.
I find
And the
that
next day
really
another
scary.
one came as
I
well.
know, it's very.
Because you weren't caught out by that, but like my parents have been targeted a few times, and my mum actually got into trouble with people claiming to be from Apple, and ended up handing over some money.
no,
And
did
Yeah,
Oh.
it happened to my
she lost some money on this sort of stuff, and they seem to be quite susceptible to it. They're not very good at sort of discerning between. I keep saying to them, if someone emails you and says we need your bank details because something's gone wrong,
Never go.
don't ever click on the link. Just go to the website.
Well, it happened. I think I might have mentioned it on the pod when it happened. It happened to my dad about a year or so ago. Someone, he was a Virgin Media subscriber for TV, and someone rang up saying, "Yeah, we got to sort your account out, whatever pretext." And then he was telling me, he's like rang me up and he goes, "Scott, I just had this really interesting call with Virgin Media, and they've sorted me all out." And I was like, "Yeah, tell me more, Dad." And he goes, yeah, there was a problem with my computer, but it was all right so I just gave them remote access to my computer,
Oh, bless them.
Yeah.
and then they just sorted it out. And I was like, oh shit, Dad, this doesn't sound good. And then I was like, can you just do me a favour right now and go onto your bank account and see if any money's gone out? And the motherfuckers have taken $3,000 out of his account.
Oh, God.
The good thing is, fair play to his bank, which is Lloyd's, so shout out to Lloyd's. As soon as I realised it, and he was beating himself up and just feeling like such an idiot. But I was like, it happens. And they prey on older people because older people don't have this technology self-confidence.
Yeah.
And then he got in touch with Lloyd's and they gave him all his money back and just went about chasing these crooks.
There's a huge YouTuber called Mark Robber. He used to work for NASA, and he did a whole series on catching those. And they're like, there's a bunch of hackers who do goodies, good stuff.
Yeah.
And they hack into the cameras in the call centers.
Wow.
And they scare them by saying, "That's a nice jumper," and they go, they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, "That's a nice jumper you wear," and they go, "Oh my god!" And they start going like. It's
That's
crazy,
amazing.
but it's and then the police doesn't do anything. It's just,
No.
and they get access and they.
But fair play to the bank. I mean, the bank could have just gone, well, you shouldn't have been so stupid. But
I think actually the banks are quite good at the moment on this stuff because they know it's a big problem and
yeah.
Apparently, TSB is the best.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bank.
So
I've never heard them
you're saying if
being in a good light.
so if you think you're a sucker, go to TSB. Is that what you're saying?
They're very good at refunding the money
Yeah.
from fraud, apparently.
No, well, Lloyd's was great with my dad, so that was good.
I
But
think Lloyd's TSB, they're the same.
They
aren't
were.
no, they decoupled.
Oh, they decoupled.
They were
Okay.
an acquisition and then
They decoupled.
unacquisition.
They got divorced.
They got
Didn't work
divorced.
out.
I was at Lloyd's TSB and
TSB
then
keeps the kids.
I ended up with 2 different accounts. I swear.
Right.
I was like, cool. Now I have 2 logins. They're the same.
Mm.
I shouldn't give you all this info.
Yes.
No, but you.
yeah.
Self-doxing by Pierre there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't catch you next time.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we retreat from that tangent? I
Yeah,
think
so
we're
we've got-
giving quality tangents at the moment.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's extra good if you can weave in a current story from the week.
Yes.
Which you've done a couple of times.
If you notice how pro I am
Yeah.
on all that.
I am impressed.
I've just noticed, by the way, talking about being impressed, your G&T is 8%, so that's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's
Sometimes
not
you get a
bad, isn't it?
G&T, like the Gordon's ones, they're only about 4%. I'm like, what the
How
fuck?
can a G&T be 4%?
Exactly.
There's it's just tonic
There's
water.
double shots. Yeah.
But I mean,
No, this
like
is
when
quite
I do,
helpful.
I don't know about you, Elena, if you make yourself a G&T at home, what do you think the proportion of gin to tonic is when you make it?
Half and half.
Well, I was born in Spain, so it's that much gin.
Yeah, yeah.
That much tonic.
Yeah,
Like Barcelona measures.
And in Spain, they do them in those massive coppers.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I like to have a gin top.
A gin top.
Yeah. Where it's just a little splash of
Like the
tonic.
mimosa, it's like a tier of orange juice. Yeah.
So I think, like, joking aside, I would say typically minimum you're looking at about 25% gin to 75% tonic, let's
Oh,
say.
that's a very generous dose of
Yeah,
tonic.
but even
Yeah,
that,
it's too much.
the point I'm trying to make is gin's 40%, so even that gives you a 10%
Yeah.
outcome. So what the fuck are they doing serving up
It's
4%
4%, yeah.
ones? I mean, that's just bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But then that's like pub measures in England. So anyone who's not been to England, if you have spirits in pubs in England, it's
Don't
appalling. isn't it?
order a whiskey in a pub in England.
You just get this tiny
like-
little
It's like a
film
dribble.
at the bottom of it, and they'll
I don't wanna
charge you a
use the
tenner
word.
for it.
Yeah.
Don't they just by default do double measures though? I find
No,
they do
you have
that.
to ask for a large one, and then they charge
Really?
you twice as much.
Oh.
Yeah.
They don't often do double measures just by default.
But
and then
even
you have
double-
to step in. And,
I'd have to come to your pub if they did double measures by default.
you get charged for it, but
Yeah.
you have to say if you want.
And
a
you say
single.
you step in, you want single. But don't you find single? I know you're not.
Well, it
you know,
depends.
You don't
if
have
you're-
quite the sort of insatiable thirst that me and Ian do.
No.
But don't you find like a single G&T, it's hardly worth the bother. You might as well just have some
Well,
tonic.
look, I like the taste of it, so
Yeah,
yeah, you just
you're
want.
not out to get.
Everybody
Yeah,
orders a large
depends
gin and
really.
tonic in
Yeah,
a pub,
most.
don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Nobody goes, when they get offered a large do you want a large one? No one says no. It's like when they supersize
Well,
it.
Elena might do.
Everybody goes, yeah,
Look,
supersize.
you're
it.
just different people.
No, I often have a large one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See?
We're taking attention on attention.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah, I was
really
trying to
are,
bring it
okay,
back, but I just got distracted by your 8%.
Don't get distracted.
Elena, over to you.
Thank you. Okay, we've got an ORAN question. For some, ORAN is going to change the face of the industry for good. For some, not.
Yeah.
In what year should we expect to see the ecosystem surpass $32 billion?
Cool. I'm
Oh, that's a forecast question.
going to guess 2030.
Oh, no.
Sounds like it's close from the pained expression on your face.
Not that close.
Oh,
but, you know, you're in the right century.
Oh, jeez. Great.
2026.
No, 2040.
Oh.
Actually, it doesn't
Do I
make
get
any
a half
sense
point
to
for
be
being closer
soon,
than him?
because that's
No.
almost the size of the whole RAN market.
So you probably know, Elena, you were giving
Yes,
Ian
I
looks
know.
that he's basically the biggest ORAN
Yeah.
contrarian in the whole world.
I know.
But I largely support it, by the way. I'm not saying that as a bad thing.
I'm not an ORAN contrarian.
No, you just
I just point out.
You just think
the
it's
crap.
bollocks. Yeah.
we dig into the questions a bit more. Just
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
take
this
it for face
AT&T
value.
Ericsson ORAN deal.
Mm.
ATT. I thought you call it ATT.
He did say AT&T. He just slurred it a bit.
I thought I heard
I've had a
ATT.
few beers.
He can't be bothered with
This is
that.
it. This is it.
I think we know what he meant.
I actually think one thing I'll say. I mean, I can't find any fault in Ian's analysis, but I think what's even more telling is that he writes all this stuff, calling bullshit on it, and I don't think there's ever been a decent public rebuttal of anything you've written.
No.
So I mean, that speaks volumes to me.
Yeah, it's backed up, isn't it?
If there's so much incentive for people to pick holes in Ian's writing on the subject if they could, and they haven't. So
But do you get comments on your Twitter feed or your not Twitter, your X feed or your
Sometime. More LinkedIn,
Yeah.
probably. But yeah, sometimes. I get people commenting not on public forums.
just chats.
yeah.
in a rude way or
Sometimes not. Mainly not. I suppose the people that want to come to you and talk to you are usually like, oh, I saw your thing and I wanted to
Yeah.
say this as well. So they're not going to go. They know you're a journalist. They don't want to say,
yeah.
especially if they're from a company that's invested in it. They don't want to come along and go, that's all crap and it's this way.
I wish you did have your comments open. Like I don't have. We both moved because obviously we both work for the same company
Yeah,
before,
moved
and we both
platforms.
moved to new platforms. And Telecoms right now doesn't have comments, and it always used to. And sometimes we used to do it occasionally on the pod. I'd read out some troll who's giving me a hard
Yeah.
time and just cuss him.
Yeah.
'Cause it's nearly always a bloke. And I wish like Ian had comments open on his stuff because he'd get some spicy stuff, I reckon.
Yeah, you do. But you also get, the only trouble is that you get a lot of random comments, don't
Yeah,
you?
or just spam.
Or spam, or people who don't really know what it's about. Because you want, it's nice when the people who are really sort of invested in it and at the top table.
Yeah. They're
Taking
interacting
interest.
with yeah.
Um,
I've heard a lot of comments though from journalists about them being exposed to really nasty comments off the back of their reporting.
I think
People
there's a,
taking a real issue
Right.
with, and it's nasty. It's a really
well, I think the
nasty
digital
part of the job.
environment is quite nasty.
Yeah,
I mean, you hear these stories. I'm only semi-sympathetic. You hear all these like footballers or sports people going, everyone's horrible to me on Twitter. And I sort of think, I don't doubt that they are.
Yeah.
But I sort of think two things. I think part of it just comes with being a public figure. I don't applaud it, but I think it's just part of goes with the territory. And the other one is just then don't go on Twitter.
Yeah.
But that's not to condone shitty behaviour and abuse.
But
I think it's just priced in, isn't it, with being a public figure? I mean, politicians get it all the time.
yeah, but you're not. I don't know. With the celebrities, I'm kind of less sympathetic because they're making a ton of money from it.
But like when you get Prince Harry going,
Yeah.
and then at the same time he's courting all the publicity and making money from it.
Yeah, I'm less sympathetic with that. But if you're speaking the truth or trying to get a story out there about something to improve everybody's knowledge, and then you just get a load of backchat from and quite abusive, I don't think that's fair.
No, I agree.
So,
I agree, and I don't understand what motivates the people who do that either. I mean, they're perhaps unhappy or lonely or bored or whatever, but just people who seem to spend a lot of their life just having a go at randos on the internet. I just don't get it.
Really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Too many of them out there. Okay, one of the pop quiz rounds now.
Okay.
In the same week that Openreach made full fibre broadband available to 10 million homes, business and public services across the UK, who was announced the winner of The Apprentice?
For fuck's sake.
You didn't win it. You didn't watch it.
Alan Sugar.
Sugar. The problem is, Elena, and maybe we could have had this chat before, I don't ever watch telly at all.
Is it like?
Nor do I.
Is it like Matt Hancock or something?
No, he was in the jungle one.
Oh, sorry.
The Apprentice are like
Nigel
unknown
Farage in
people,
the
really.
jungle?
He was. I think it's finished.
Did you get kicked
No, that
out?
was
I think
last year, I think. Nigel
No,
Farage,
no,
wasn't
he
it?
was on it recently.
He's
I
on
was-
at the moment,
I get it. I hadn't
Oh,
watched it,
sorry.
but just from like going on Twitter, whatever, I've learned
He's
it.
not voted off.
He came third. I don't know who
People
won.
keep them in to do the bad challenges, like eat the
Maybe that's what it
kangaroo
is. Maybe that's what it
testicles and
is.
things like that.
I'm not cheating now. I want to see who won.
I'm a
the-
celebrity.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up.
I hope it's like Nigel Farage.
So was this The Apprentice or Celebrity Apprentice?
No, just The Apprentice.
So it just could be anyone.
Yeah, but if you watch it,
Which
Bob
I don't.
Smith. Bob Smith.
no,
Dave Smith.
you won't even get it. Marnie Swindles.
Oh,
Great name though.
What? Yeah, good.
Marnie Swindles.
That's a really good
that a
name.
Gary
That's why it's funny because
It's like a Guy Ritchie movie character.
yeah.
Sounds like our boss trying to do something dodgy.
Marty Swindles.
Our boss's boss. Swindles. What a great surname.
It's a great surname.
Right, I'm going to look up while we're here and see who won. What's
There's
it
a
called?
Cockney
I'm a
Celebrity
celebrity.
somewhere.
Get me out of here.
I'm a celebrity winner.
Yeah. I don't know who it was. Is it still going on?
No, I think it's done because I think Farage came third. I heard on a
right, okay.
podcast
It's
or read
on in
on the internet.
Australia, yeah?
I think it's
Yeah,
always in
shit.
Australia,
I'm not on
isn't
the. I'm not on the Wi-Fi and our cellular is bullshit in here. So that's
Yeah.
that done.
Let's look that one up later.
Oh, I've got it. Hang on.
We can update them from the January podcast on what we discovered. Because people will be on tenterhooks to find out.
Sam Thompson.
Don't know who that is.
Right, where did Nigel Farage come?
Third.
Third.
Told you that.
Oh, Made in Chelsea.
Right. So someone who's famous for being on reality TV won another reality. It
Yeah,
gets very
dreadful,
meta,
isn't
doesn't it?
It does go very meta.
Very self-referential.
Yeah.
A boxer came second.
Tony Bellew. Yeah, I've heard of him.
Tony.
He's
I'm
a
surprised
light
you
heavyweight.
didn't know who won The Apprentice because you're clearly like well up on it with I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah, but
Oh, he's third, he's second. Oh, yeah, Tony Bellew.
but I've never watched any of them. It's just come through on my social media, or whatever. That was for people only listening. Ian gave me a comical, skeptical look. But,
He's picked holes in your argument. Scott.
okay, all right.
All right, next one.
But I've never heard of the person who won. In my defence,
I'm sure
Okay,
you will,
sorry,
though.
go on.
Okay, the US issued a $300 million. Sorry.
Have another G and T.
It's those 4% things.
I wish I was drinking a 4% one now. Try again. The US issued a $300 million fine to a hard drive company for doing business with Huawei. What was the name of the company?
Oh, we were both together.
I think
Now I
it
need
was-
an adjudicator.
Oh, no, I've got it wrong.
Go on, you can go first. I'll concede the floor to cede the
This
floor
isn't
to.
it, but I'm going to have to say it now. It's HPE.
No, hard drive.
Yeah.
manufacturer.
No, I heard that afterwards.
I'm going to go... Oh, shit. There's 3 big ones.
Western Digital.
Yeah, I'm going to go
SanDisk.
Western Digital.
Seagate.
Seagate was the other one. It was a 50-50 call between Western Digital and Seagate.
I remember the story now.
Yeah, I probably wrote it as well. That's one of the really embarrassing things.
I didn't write it, but I do remember it.
Seagate is
Well,
an
it was from
old
April.
school company.
Well, they all are. I mean, they've been doing hard drives since like the 80s or whatever.
Anyway, HP was never fined. They were just sort of...
No, and they don't do hard drives.
They don't do hard drives.
They don't do hard drives. They were never fined, but they were implicated in that whole the sale of stuff to Iran, if you remember.
Oh, is
They
that
were
why you
involved-
thought of them?
Well, it was I think the
They're
story
going to really
was,
thank you for bringing that up now. aren't they?
Yeah.
No, but the story was Huawei selling HP equipment in Iran. Basically, it wasn't that HP had done anything wrong. It was
Yeah.
That was a funny thing at our awards this year. So, have you ever been to the Glotels, Elena?
No, I
haven't.
don't think so.
Well, I have to. I got CC Group this year. Next year, if I got spare seats, I'll go
Yeah,
to you.
let me
okay?
know. Yeah,
Yeah. And
I'll laugh at the comic.
yeah. Well, do you know the best compliment I got, which isn't necessarily a compliment to me, is that I got more laughs than the comic this year.
Oh, really?
But the comic, I really liked Simon Evans, but the room didn't particularly warm to him.
I don't know who Simon Evans. It's not the
He's
sweaty one.
He's an older guy. No, Lee Evans. You're thinking. Someone else said that. They were like, "Is he the sweaty one?" That's Lee Evans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he's sweaty. Is that what people refer to him?
Yeah, he's like
Oh,
really
he was
sort of
really
hyper-metabolic
sweaty.
and twitchy and all that.
The bald
and he's
guy.
always- No,
Chris
Lee
Fry.
Evans. I don't know who you're thinking of.
Simon Evans.
No, but who's the ball guy? Neither Lee Evans nor Simon Evans are bald.
Oh, it's the other Evans. Yeah, Bald Evans.
Bald Evans. There we go.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Lee Evans. So you look him up. You'll remember him. He had a really good sort of comedy persona. He's like really neurotic and really hyper and really
He's in
tense.
films as well.
He's
Yeah, he was in The Fifth Element.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, Elena's dialed him up.
Do you remember him?
Yes, I know him.
Yeah, right,
He's very funny.
yeah very
He cost a
distinctive.
fortune, presumably.
He would.
Lee Evans.
So-
Yeah.
But Simon Evans I really like. But yeah, anyway, the reason I went on that tangent is what I normally do. So there's 2 phases where I'm up on stage. There's the first bit where it's just me and I welcome everyone and I do a little speech and I've worked out the most efficient way of padding it out is to go over our most read stories of the year.
Oh yeah.
So when you're trying to think of like even 5 minutes of material, it's amazing how quickly you run dry. So
Yeah.
that's just like an easy one playing in,
That's a good idea. Imagine
and
people are interested.
yeah, and it just so happened, and most years our main sponsor is Huawei. Which is a funny thing. I mean, I'm obviously grateful, but I think it's remarkable how Huawei still keeps investing in the UK when it's getting such a hard time here. But there we are. Fair play to you, Huawei. Keep coming, and keep sending me chocolates. And anyway, it just so happened that the 2 most read stories of the year were both like really spicy, contentious Huawei ones, where they've been trying to get around US embargoes and the
Yeah.
toing and froing. I know. I just made a joke of it when I stood up there because there they are, right in front of me. Because they're the main sponsor. They got a table right near the front, and I think they sort of they're all right with it. They're not too. They don't seem to get too self-conscious about our stories being all about them getting in trouble with America and all that sort of thing.
Pretty inscrutable.
Well,
I'm sure off in the boardrooms they're going, fucking light reading and Telecoms.com. What a bunch of arsewipes. But we wouldn't know that. So
Anyway, so I don't know why I went off on that tangent.
Glotels. And that you got more laughs than the
yeah.
comic.
That'll do.
Okay.
I'll do that bit of self-promotion and leave it there.
Okay. Well, should we go on to the next
Yeah.
question? Can I just do a summary of the scores?
Which, yes,
is it 2-1?
No, 1-1.
1-0
Still
after all
1-0.
that. And where were we? April.
I thought Scott was ahead.
Maynard.
I thought
Oh,
he
no,
got it
April.
right.
April
Yeah.
still. Last question for April. Okay. Space Mobile successfully made a direct voice call between the US and Japan via satellite using standard smartphones. Which phone was used to make the call from Texas to Rakuten?
Fucking hell.
Which phone? I think just say the name of the company.
on.
Samsung?
Yes.
Well done. I was going to go Apple anyway, so it's just as well.
If you want the exact make of
Samsung
the...
Galaxy 5.
No, Samsung
10.
Galaxy S22.
Oh.
Smartphone.
S22.
Yeah, you two
don't
are so behind.
Yeah, but I don't buy that
They're
Android
into the
shit.
20s now.
I don't buy that Android shit.
Yeah.
I'm quite impressed that you knew which handset it was.
Do you know what? My kids won't listen to this, but I bought all the family Pixels for Christmas.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Do they listen to the for this
No.
Christmas?
Yeah. No, they don't.
They don't listen.
I mean, they might make an exception, and I might have just fucked Christmas up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did it.
That's quite brave.
Yeah. Well, there was a good deal going, and I also sort of got it. I don't know how I'm going to position it. I sort of got it indirectly from my dad, who people who listen to pod regularly will know died about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And I thought, fuck it, I'll splash out a little bit, and phones. It's probably the most worthwhile investment you can do because we're so reliant on our phones. You might as well have a decent one.
Yeah.
And then I just went on and I saw on Amazon they were doing Pixel 7s, and I've got a Pixel 7. It cost me £600 at the start of the year, and they were doing them for £380.
Wow.
So I thought, fuck it, I'll have 3 of them. So that's what I did.
That's generous.
That's generous.
So there we are.
Now you're beyond on decent phones now. Yeah.
Now we'll talk to each other even less.
Yeah.
You didn't get them free because you're a journalist, did you?
No. My bribe threshold has definitely gone down over the years. Now my bribe is just a box of chocolates or a couple of beers.
Yeah.
Or a really pricey bottle of wine if you're an oligarch, of course.
An Irish oligarch.
There we are.
A tech tycoon.
That's been. By the way, I had that. So again, regular listeners to the pod will know when we had Dennis O'Brien on, he was very generous. He bought me and Ian both really nice, like vintage French wine.
Yeah.
And
my excuse is it was my birthday.
I didn't even have an excuse. Anyway, I had mine, and it was great. And when we were just having lunch with Craig from Vasectomy. I just said that while Ian was drinking his beer.
You're going to have to get him back on the pod now.
Yeah.
To correct this.
Ian literally nearly spat his beer in my face there. And he obviously knows a bit about wine, and we were chatting about it. But the problem was, so I cracked this thing open that's worth like £300 or £400. And we all drank it and we loved it and we savoured it and I decanted it and we had a bit of cheese and all that. But I'm still thinking, I can't do that justice.
Yeah.
How can I tell the difference between that and a £50 bottle of wine?
Yeah, I know. I'm the same.
Beyond 50 or 100, it becomes very...
Yeah.
You need to really know your stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
You need to drink more, evidently.
Well, I
to
think...
become more of an expert.
Do you know what? I'll drink to that.
That's a good New Year's resolution for you, I reckon, Scott. It's to drink more £300.
Well, do you know, I wasn't going to, but seeing as Elena said it...
return those pixels and get 3 bottles.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah.
You're stuck with your 2-year-old shitty fucking OnePlus or whatever that you got.
Just get them some Haribo.
Daddy's going up market. Okay. We're getting more and more tangential. We breezed through to April, and now we've sort of stalled a bit, haven't we?
No, now we're in May.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a pop quiz bonus round at the end of May.
Okay. I've got to catch up.
So 2 questions to go. Well, yeah. There's only 3 questions that we've got right so far. Okay. Ookla reported on the radio of Wi-Fi to Ethernet performance globally and discovered that the UK is one of the worst countries affected. In the UK, Wi-Fi runs at 29.8% of Ethernet speeds. How much has this gap widened in the past year? I've got some options.
I was about to say, this is some arcane shit you're coming out with.
I've got to challenge you.
Right.
A, 12.3%, B, 13%, or C, 11.6%.
Oh my God, that's so close.
It's definitely 11.6%.
It is.
Oh, you bastard. You jammy bastard.
That's what he
3-1.
does.
3-1.
This is what he gets for just giving it a go, whereas I'm still sitting here
He
actually
scores
thinking
when he
about
wants.
I think the next one is easier.
it. Yeah. Can it be about heavy metal or
No.
stuff that I'm into?
I think you might get it. Which US state wanted to ban TikTok?
I know, but I can't quite remember. I'm going to go... what is it? It begins with M.
It does.
Minnesota?
December.
Isn't it?
Is that even a state?
Yeah.
It is.
What is it?
Minnesota. Well, try the other one.
It wasn't that, was it?
Michigan.
No, it wasn't.
Could be Michigan. Go.
Montana.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky guess.
He's on fire.
You're just hanging on my coattails here.
What? You didn't say Montana?
No, but I said it begins with M, and we got a sort of approving look from Elena. So you were like halfway there.
You can get the next one if you know anything about Disney.
Oh shit!
Right, pop quiz bonus round. In the same week that Meta was fined £1.2 billion for GDPR violations, what popular Disney remake debuted in cinema?
Oh, I know.
I think I was first.
Yeah.
Was it Little Mermaid?
Yes.
Yeah. How did I know that? How did I know? Do you know how I know
That
that?
was the only remake this year.
I think I know it because I listen to a lot of podcasts where they go on about culture wars.
I'd have
think,
got that
and I think
wrong.
Little Mermaid was like mixed race or something in it, and lots of these podcasts I listen to are obsessing about that.
I'd have got that
That's how I knew.
because I would have said Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Right.
That's not out yet.
I know, but that's the one that there's been also a lot of cancel culture stuff on because
Oh, is it?
apparently
you can't say dwarf.
but the dwarves are normal size, and there's like people in it who are from ethnic backgrounds, and that wasn't the original story. So everybody's like,
Lots of people are keeping score on this stuff.
it's wokeness gone too far, and all this stuff. So it's
Yeah.
Good to know.
So that's how I knew because I.
Have you not picked up on all of that?
I tell you another reason I knew is my daughter every now and then comes in and just gives me like a 10-minute diatribe on how she's pissed off about Disney live action remakes.
Oh, really? Okay.
She's not happy about them.
Oh,
So
right.
she's going to be 17 in a few days. And when they remake a cartoon as live action,
Yeah.
On the Lion
Kills
King
it.
sucks.
she feels very strongly on the matter.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel strong on it because it's got Gal Gadot in it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go down that
Okay, let's move on from
rabbit
that.
hole any further.
We're into June.
June.
How much does an Apple Vision Pro headset cost? Oh, I've got options if
All
you
right,
want.
go on then.
No,
No,
He buzzed.
no,
$3,500.
No, okay, I'm going to give you options because they're all very similar.
feel robbed already.
$4,159, $3,499,
Yeah,
or $3,999.
the middle one, 3,499.
Yes, you're correct.
I said 3,500, so I was only
Fair
$1 off. Even
That's
before
true. You got it
the-
even without the multiple choice. I
Yeah.
concede that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's $1. You know, that's not chump change.
They might release it
No,
You could buy some.
as early as next
Mars bar.
month, actually.
Yeah, you could buy some
Yeah.
crisps with that.
Mars bar.
Mm.
Are we in June?
Just saying,
July?
it's 5-2.
Yeah, no.
No, we're still in
It's
June.
turning into a rout.
Or you can still get it back.
You've got a few months.
Yeah,
to
we're
go.
only halfway through the year.
Yeah. The US will subsidise broadband for its communities through a $42 billion programme that promises to connect the entire country to high-speed internet. What is the name of this programme?
Is it BEAD?
It is.
Yes.
Well done.
Do you know what BEAD stands for?
No.
Do you want to get a bonus
I just see it in
point?
Nicole Ferrari's headlines.
Yeah. No, it's gone. But I do know it's an acronym. But I can't
British something.
remember. No, it's American, mate.
Oh,
Fuck's sake. I mean, that's the one thing it's not. It's British.
sorry.
No, I can't remember. Tell us.
Broadband. Yeah.
Broadband, equity, access and deployment.
Of course, equity's in there. That's another little culture war term. Is equity.
Yeah. Okay.
Equity for non-Americans. When Americans use equity, they basically mean like wealth redistribution,
Yeah.
or that it can be on like identity grounds as well. But yeah, it's a really loaded emotive term, and it annoys me
Okay.
because there's a difference between equity and equality. It comes down to I won't do this rabbit hole for very long, this tangent for very long. So there's equality of opportunity and there's equality of outcome. So equality of opportunity, everyone agrees with. For example, you know, we're in an era now where we're not as sexist as we used to be, and women can succeed in the workplace, as you're a great example of. Whereas 100 years ago, you would have had a nightmare.
Maybe.
That's, well, or maybe not. Maybe you just kicked ass. But that's equality of opportunity. Well, the point is there isn't a structural impediment to Elena being the best Elena she can be.
Yeah.
Equality of outcome is saying, well, there's only one bird and there's three blokes in the room. We got to change that around, and Pierre's got to fuck off and get replaced by a woman for equality of outcome. That's the difference.
Positive discrimination type stuff.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, and that's what equity in the States
Okay.
refers to is more equality of outcome rather than equality of opportunity. Anyway,
Yeah.
you can see this is my first rodeo in that rabbit hole.
There was a story actually this week about a woman CEO who who was really vocal and outspoken about it. And I can't remember who she was.
Right. Oh, what a great story, Elena.
Exactly.
You can see why you're a regular guest.
My mind was worrying.
Yeah.
So I wanted to justify why my mind was worrying. Okay, let's move on to July. What data set was the initial ChatGPT model trained on?
Chat GPT, is it? What is it?
What data set?
How many guesses are you going to get in this?
3.
No, it's not ChatGPT.
GPT-3.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not that.
Right.
Can you say the question again?
Yeah.
No, he's finished gibbering.
What data set was the initial ChatGPT model trained on?
All right, I probably would have said GPT-3 as well.
That's actual LLM though, isn't it, itself? Or is it probably...
Like the core data set.
core data
Yeah, it's a
is.
Oh God, is it that thing that
James Crawshaw referred to it in his
Yeah.
presentation, and it's like the internet sort of general stuff, but I can't remember the name of it. what
Yeah,
they call it.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's
is
what
where.
it is.
No, I can't remember it either.
It's called the Common Crawl.
There we
That's
go.
it. Common crawl.
Yeah, we
Sounds
both learnt that
sounds like
from
swimming stroke.
from Crawshaw's presentation, didn't we?
Swimming.
Common crawl, not as opposed to posh crawl.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's just common crawl.
Sybaritic crawl.
Oh, I would expect like a kind of hand movement to what it is.
Yeah.
But it would
Yeah, posh
translate
crawl.
well on.
Posh crawl would be a bit sort of more limp-wristed. Common crawl was a bit more fucking
Yeah.
earthy, a bit more blue collar, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, next one. Deloitte investigated UK attitudes towards generative AI in their Digital Consumer Trends report. According to the report, what percentage of people who have used AI believe that it always produces factually correct responses?
I assume there was a multiple choice.
There was a multiple
Yeah, no,
choice.
he just can't help himself. He's so competitive. Just put your
You should
fucking
deduct points
hand
for
up.
like
Oh,
wrong
I didn't know
answers.
it was a multiple choice.
What? So you were going to guess from 1 to 100, were you?
I
Go
was.
on then.
70%.
Right. Is that right?
No.
Yeah.
I'll give
No,
you
can you give me the
I'll give
multiple
seven-
choice.
43%, 19%, or 34%.
Oh, I wasn't even close.
People who think it's normally right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the higher one.
Or actually, no, always produces factually accurate.
Oh, always.
responses.
I'm still going to go the higher one, 43.
All right.
Go on.
3-6.
A rare result. Can we have a little, what they call it in the States, comfort break?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, let's have a comfort break.
Okay.
So thanks, everyone. We just went for a little comfort break there. I've got to announce, so you noticed that we've changed headgear. We're both being Santas or elves or whatever we're doing. You didn't.
I didn't.
You don't have to. It's fine.
You do look
I'm
like
just going to leave it like this.
That's weird.
You look like a big elf.
You look like a big something. And I'm going to announce that we're getting into some more of Elena's beers, and I'm having one that's called Baller. I don't even know what that means, but that guy is clearly a baller. Look, it's got some geezer on the front. Who's
I
a
got
baller.
Hunter.
And you got Hunter. It's just named after Joe Biden's son. So there we are.
got
So we're
crack
back. We've had a slash.
Actually quite nice though.
Good. Well, I haven't tried Baller yet. I can't get it on.
They're brewed in South London, those ones.
I said the
Ian,
cans are quite big.
I can't get the sheath on Ian.
It's the X-rated edition of Telecoms.com's podcast. You want a close-up of this?
Definitely don't.
It's a bit condomy, isn't it? There we go. Okay, we're calm. We're calm. Oh dear, oh dear.
You can blame Ian, though, because that's his technique, isn't it?
That's true, and it turned out he was right.
Oh, okay, right. We've got a pop quiz bonus round next. In the same week that Apple threatened to remove FaceTime and iMessage from the UK, what was the name of the cultural phenomenon surrounding the simultaneous release of 2 films?
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah, easy.
It's Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah, what was it? What's
the name of the
called?
cultural
The
phenomenon?
cultural phenomenon.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
If you don't,
Do
I can do it.
Just merge the 2 names of the films together.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Well,
he's already in the lead.
I
You're
know,
giving him
all
massive
right,
clues.
all right.
I don't know. Barbheimer.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's
Is that
not,
it?
that's
Okay.
not a point.
All right.
Um.
Oh, adjudicator, yes.
Yeah.
of
I'm
course.
gonna guess. I haven't heard it. I'm gonna go Barbenheimer.
Yes,
Correct.
correct. Well done. Right. You're narrowing.
Barbenheimer.
Well, you're catching up.
I thought there was actually some technical like industry term for releasing 2 films at the same time. They've got fuck all to do with each other.
No, this is the pop quiz.
Yeah,
bonus round.
okay.
Yeah. Keep up.
I'm trying.
And I think Mission Impossible was like the week before. It was like a big.
Is that good? The last Mission Impossible film,
It's all right, but it's like a 2-part one, so it kind of ends on a.
but it's good
It's pretty good.
because the other ones are really
And,
good.
and you got Tom Cruise just defying
Age.
time the whole time, haven't you?
Yeah.
He doesn't look very happy about that.
No, it wasn't the best. Yeah, the best one is still the first one. Sorry.
Did you watch Top Gun?
Yeah, that was good.
Return?
That was
Yeah.
good.
Maverick's good.
Maverick's
Yeah,
good.
I really enjoyed that.
In a very cheesy way, it's really good.
That was the last film I went to with my dad, actually. And it's funny, I took my dad and my son.
Aw.
So it's 3 generations going. And then we had a bite to eat after and we were discussing it. I was the one who liked it the least.
Really?
Right.
I thought it was very entertaining.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. And I think that's what Jack got from it, my son. My dad liked it because my dad's was a big, like, military
Yep.
enthusiast. So he just liked seeing all those nice shiny jets flying around.
Yeah.
I just thought, for me, just a complete absence of any plotting.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
a film to watch for
Just-
plotting. No.
And no, and I wasn't expecting, Agatha Christie, but I just thought there was none at all. It's basically like, okay,
Yeah, there is none.
something's happened, we all fly around a lot, and the goodies win.
Yeah.
And, that's fine. I mean, you've got to take it for what it is,
Yeah,
but that left me a little bit.
It got people back into the cinema, didn't it? After COVID. That was...
It's saved.
They delayed it quite a while, didn't they? I thought it was great because I didn't expect having seen the first one, when I actually thought some of the flight stuff was a little bit boring.
Right.
This one, where they didn't apparently use a lot of CGI,
No,
it was
they
done
didn't
with,
use any
that It was
CGI.
done with was just like a real step up. It was so exciting. Those
But
bits when they were like coming up and like
I'll
the
tell you an
sort of
interesting
idea
twist
of
on
the
it, though.
G-force on the pilots and all that. It was
So
like,
it's all real, was it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, didn't know.
An interesting twist on it is, according to some podcasts or articles that I've read, the only way they got all that amazing footage and access to all this cutting edge gear is through a close partnership with the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is the Pentagon basically has a large degree of editorial control.
Right.
So they won't let anything happen that reflects badly on America or reflects badly on the
Well, it's
armed forces.
kicking the Iranians' asses, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So it's all nice and jingoistic, which is fine. I mean, that's kind of the point of the film.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit of weird Top Gun film if like the baddies win.
Yeah.
But I just think that's an interesting insight into how these things play out.
Yeah.
It's a very much a quid pro quo thing. You can have access to an
It's almost
F-18
like
or
US
whatever.
government propaganda. In a
Yeah,
way.
it is a bit.
If the Iranians did the same kind of thing, you'd go, Christ, that's like a government-sponsored
Yeah,
film just to
quite.
show how good they are at building nuclear weapons. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting angle on it.
as we're on the side of the Americans, we don't mind.
They're the goodies.
Did you watch Barbie?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Did you?
Do you actually think we might have?
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
I suppose I
phenomenal,
could. I think
wasn't it? There
I
was
think
a lot
maybe
of
my
talk
wife
about
went
it.
with my daughter. I was one of those ones where I was like, "You got this one, love. I'll let you take
Shame.
Izzy to
I'm
Barbie."
more Enheimer than Barb, I think.
3 hours though, isn't it?
Did you go to see Barbie?
I did.
What's it like?
It's quite entertaining.
And
You just have to take it with a pinch of
I
salt.
think
Yeah.
I'd probably find it funny.
but it's deliberately
Yeah, it's quite funny.
deliberately a little bit kitsch.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all that.
definitely.
I can't see how you do a Barbie movie and not be a
Yeah,
bit kitsch.
exactly. No, it was fun.
Yeah, I think Izzy really liked it,
Entertainment
and that's fine. That's all.
Yeah.
All it needs to do is deliver for my daughter. I don't
Well, if you
really
want to
give
go
a
and see it together early in the new year, and then we can do a pod on it.
shit. Can you imagine? Do you know what? I mean, I don't think it would
Had to
happen.
alienate all
I
the
don't think it
listeners
happened.
in one go.
But I mean, I like podding so much. I'd love to just do random tangential.
We could
pods
invite
about
someone
other
like
stuff.
Howard Watson to come with us to watch Barbie. It's like someone senior like that on the technical side,
So good.
and then have a pod about it and throw in some telecom stuff to sort of keep it.
It is an interesting thing, actually.
related to-
I'd be tempted to do a pod on music or on culture or on current affairs or whatever. But then, why would anyone listen to us? The only reason people listen to us, other than the fact that we're great, is that we know quite a lot about telecoms. So if you get out of your zone, then your USP, your differentiators, just disappears, doesn't it? So maybe we should just stick in our lane.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
Should we go back to that?
yeah.
Oh, just as a tangential thing, Barbie was the highest grossing film this year.
Really?
Yeah.
No, unsurprisingly, yeah.
There's a lot of teenage girls in the world.
I think it's the reason that people listen to us is the Venn diagram between telecom and Barbie. Actually,
You should challenge yourself and see if you could write a story
with
That-
Barbie in it.
and telecoms. That's still
Well, that-
telecomsy. Maybe it's a sort of allegory for Open RAN.
Well, when Barbie hits the streaming services. 'cause
Well,
you-
yes. There is that.
So we can get into the fair contribution then.
Yeah, there you are. Done. Okay, August. The Royal Mail began their drone delivery service in Orkney in collaboration with Skyport's drone services. The drone used for this project is the Speedbird Aereo DLV-2 aircraft. What is the maximum load? For this service?
This has got to be a multiple
All right.
choice one.
Yeah, it's a multiple choice.
Oh, now you're learning not to buzz too early.
Now I know what kind of questions are going
Yeah.
to be multiple choice.
Yeah. Okay. 6 kg, 2 kg, or 10 kg?
It's got to be 6 kg.
Yeah. Well done.
It just made me think of the Holy Grail. What is the maximum airspeed velocity of a swallow? Do you remember that at the end of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not at the end, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because if they get it wrong, they get thrown into.
What's your favourite colour? Blue. No, red.
Oh, it's
Yeah, exactly. It's that one.
After they met Tim.
That's right. It's Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay. You can tell it was August because
there wasn't much going on.
there wasn't much going on.
I was
So
probably on holiday then. In my defence.
You might be.
What are the scores?
6 to you, 4 to Scott. So
Oh, I'm
2.
doing better than I
Really?
thought.
No, he was on 6 before.
Well,
No, he wasn't.
No.
He was on 2 before. In fact, he should have less than that.
How's he on
oh no,
6?
7.
7, yeah,
Sorry,
seven,
he's on 7.
yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause you did
7-3.
get, yeah.
It's a fucking
7.
lump here.
No, 7-4. 7-4.
All right. So everyone's against me now. I'm feeling victimised.
Yeah. Don't worry. Just enough questions to claw it back.
Okay.
Keep it interesting.
Keep it real.
The iconic red telephone box turns 100 next year, and BT is encouraging people to repurpose 1,000 of them as part of their Adopt a Kiosk campaign. Since the launch of the campaign, more than 7,200 red telephone boxes have been claimed and repurposed. When did the campaign begin? Was it 2012, 2008, or 2013?
2013. Oh, I thought you said it was 10 years ago. I was just doing the
No,
maths.
but you fell into the trap.
2012.
No.
That's
Well-
2008.
2008. I know, random.
Okay. You can only draw with me now, I'm afraid.
Right, pop quiz
Those are
bonus
not
round. Shall I make the pop quiz bonus rounds double points?
No,
No,
that
okay,
gives him
all
a
right,
chance to
all right.
claw it back, and it's all based on his website anyway.
It's a good thing I'm not competitive, isn't it?
There's way more than 3 questions left.
Yeah, there's more. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
He thought it was 1 per month, but that's not the case.
No, it's about 2 or 3.
All right, I better concentrate.
Okay. In the same week that Amazon launched their AI-generated product review summaries, which country won the Women's World Cup?
Spain.
Yes. I'm surprised you didn't get that one.
He did know that because he.
No, but I was delayed. To be slightly pedantic, Women's World Cup in what sport?
Oh, okay, sorry.
But that's
Football,
fine.
but-
I mean, you know, in hindsight, you were obviously referring to the football.
Well, it was in August as well, and it was in the same week that Amazon
Yeah.
launched
There
their...
wasn't any other
But
Women's
just,
World
just a
Cup
bit of
stuff
feedback,
happening.
Elena.
Yeah, all right.
Just come up with
But
the
there was
sport
only
next
one.
time.
There was the only other thing going on was Women's World Cup in midget tossing or something.
Little person tossing. That was the one where the bloke kissed one of the winners and got in
That's
lots of
right,
trouble.
yeah.
What did you feel about that, Elena? Do you think he was bang out of order?
Yeah, I do actually. You
Yeah.
can't force yourself on someone.
Yeah, I think I largely agree. The only thing, the only mitigation I'll have is we weren't sure to what extent how friendly or familiar they were with each other. But yeah, obviously you can't just go and kiss someone.
Oh, I
without their
think his
permission.
behaviour afterwards.
Yeah, and his
showed-
mum went on hunger
Yeah.
strike. That was weird.
That was funny.
But
Very
yes,
strange.
I largely agree because me
behaviour.
and my mates were arguing a toss about it. And I was generally, there's got to be a pretty hard line in the sand about physical
He was
contact
not.
with people.
He was not willing to go, was he? He was digging his heels in.
Yeah, and I can't quite remember what his argument was other than, oh, just get over it.
I don't think he had much of an argument. It was all really messy because initially, the player I think came out and said, "Oh, it was just a mistake. It's water under the bridge." And then I think she
And then she completely changed her
story,
story.
didn't she? So it was all
And
difficult to work out.
yeah, I suppose that's the only other complication is if she hadn't said anything, people would have just gone, okay, they must be good mates or something.
Yeah, maybe
But yeah, it turned into a massive faff. I think he's been sacked now, hasn't he?
he has. Yeah.
Yeah.
or stepped down. Can't remember. I think he must.
And presumably his mum started eating again.
Let's hope so.
You'd hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, September we're on to now. What is the name of Nokia's AI tool designed to standardise data and facilitate the development of AI and machine learning apps for operators?
I should know that, but I haven't got a Scooby. I would expect you to know. Name of Nokia's AI tool.
You were first.
I was just going to say a facetious thing.
Yeah, same.
Sauna.
No.
Hulu.
No. It's AVA Data Suite.
Ah, catchy.
Yes.
Well, can't they give it a proper name like the
Like sauna.
hyperscalers do? Yeah.
Like Rudolph.
Yeah, or something like that. It'd be much better.
I'll feed it back.
Yeah, please do.
Rudolph
Yes, of
Red-Nosed
course.
AI.
Okay, next one. Tristia Harrison announced that she will be stepping down from her position as CEO of TalkTalk Group as the company splits into 3 standalone businesses. Who did Harrison replace when she first became the CEO of TalkTalk? Do you remember?
She's the dodgy one who was behind, who was
Did
there
all
when
the-
cyber attacks were going on, and
Wasn't she
Yeah,
the
she
one
was
that got involved in all the
political-
COVID stuff as well?
yeah, she was
She's just a part of the establishment.
part of the establishment and also generally recognised as being quite useless. Is it something Harding?
Yes.
Harding.
Oh,
Don't know
I've got the first name. Have you got to get the first name?
Yeah, I think so.
He gets. You have a go, and if you get it wrong, I think I know her first name.
Eileen Harding.
Nah, Dido.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay, I'm going to give it to you just because you're also losing.
Ah,
Just because you feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
I don't mind your pity, Elena.
Yeah.
Take it to the PGMOL. Ref.
gonna have to yeah, have that one under review. I think.
They only have women with strange first names at Talk.
Dido Harding. Yeah.
And Tristia. I mean, you want to say Trisha,
Yeah.
but what's Tristia? It sounds like something Shakespearean or whatever.
Tristia. Or is
It
it?
sounds like someone out of Hamlet.
Yeah.
Dido,
Yeah, Dido.
Queen of Carthage.
There we go. A classically named woman is what you want if you want to run Talk. There we
Yeah.
go.
So who's the next one going to be then?
Helen.
Troy.
No, what's a more fun classical name? I don't know, something Greek or Roman.
No, that's a pretty good classical one. Helen, isn't it?
I know, but Helen exists now.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Greek for Helen is Elena.
Ah. There we go.
Yeah.
There we are. Bringing it
That'd
round.
be me.
So you're Greek, are you? I didn't know
Yeah.
you were Greek.
I'm not Greek. It's the same in all Romance languages, I think.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, Elena.
Spanish as well.
I think of Elena as a Spanish name.
Yeah. It's also.
Is that
name
because you were
of-
born in Spain? Is that why you got
Yeah,
a Spanish name?
yeah, yeah.
We've probably had this chat.
I think we have. It's also the name given to lots of discus throwers.
Is it?
Yes.
Really?
Discus throwers.
Yeah.
You just
as I
noticed
found out
one
when I
year,
was
you were like,
growing
how
up.
come they're all fucking
Why
called
do
Elena?
discus throwers call themselves Elena?
I think
The
from
parents.
well, it's a Russian name as well, and
Yeah.
Ukrainian name, and there were lots.
So I was
of
going to say, Elena, you know, you've got a lot of talents, but I wouldn't have thought discus throwing
No.
was principal among them.
No,
You're not built like a discus thrower.
no, I didn't. I never got into discus
No.
throwing or hammer throwing.
You missed the discus train,
Yeah, I did. but all my namesakes,
right? There's a lot of them about.
yeah.
Well, there we are.
There we go.
That's a good bit of trivia.
Yeah, good bit of trivia. Okay, another pop quiz bonus round. In the same week that Amazon introduced ads to its Prime Video streaming service, Netflix sent out its last red envelope. What do you remember? Do you remember Love Film?
Yeah.
Yeah. What
That was gonna be the
DVD?
question.
No, sorry.
That was his answer.
No, this is even more random. What DVD was in that envelope?
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
So guess any film.
No. I will give you some
Yeah, you're giving him clues. Give me a clue.
options.
Given that I've just got the floor.
The first one was Love Actually, the 1st option. Love Actually.
This is multiple choice now, is it?
Yeah, multiple choice. The second one was True Grit. And the third one was Top Gun.
I'm going to go Love Actually. No.
No.
Go on. You got a 50-50 one.
Top Gun.
It was
I
True
just made
Grit.
those up on the top.
Oh, really? You just winged it?
There weren't a multiple choice options. No, it was True Grit.
Oh, well done. Well done on the improvisation.
Yeah, I was trying to think
True
of
Grit,
ones
that's John
that
Wayne,
people
isn't
would
it?
actually have yeah.
Or is it another
No,
one?
The
yeah,
remake with
Cohen
Jeff
brothers.
Bridges, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Matt
Have you watched
Damon.
it? No.
I thought Jeff Bridges was in the new True Grit.
Yeah, and Matt Damon. Yeah.
I don't remember. Matt
It's got
Damon
more than
being in
one
it.
person in it, Ian.
Yes, but I don't remember him being in it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay.
I know films have more than one person in.
It's not a 2-hour monologue.
Some movies have just one character,
Not many. Not many that are successful at the box office.
like Buried. Have you ever seen Buried? Ryan Reynolds. It's just him in a coffin underground.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Tom Hanks.
That sounds quite good.
Cool. Castaway. That was.
No,
just
but there's just at the beginning there's Helen Hunt and there's.
Yeah, and then he comes back at
I
the
guess
end.
most of it he's alone.
And there's a basketball in it.
Yeah, there is basketball.
But Buried,
What's the
I think maybe-
basketball called?
Wilson.
Oh, well done. Good knowledge.
Yeah.
Wilson, no! You know when it falls off the boat.
It's such a sad scene though. It really it works.
I've never watched that film.
Oh my
It's a
god,
good
it's
film.
so amazing.
You must watch
Yeah, it's
it.
good.
I mean,
How
Tom-
can a basketball falling off a boat be
It's
an
a
emotional
volleyball,
moment?
it's a
But it is.
volleyball.
All right, volleyball. See,
I've
he's
got to
watching
say,
too much.
Tom Hanks has just got a ridiculous success rate in terms of.
Castaway.
He's hardly ever been in a shit film.
Castaway,
Yeah, that's true.
except the one he made. Sorry.
What was that?
I forget. It's him and Julia Roberts. It's pretty.
It's just not good.
Yeah, but you have to watch Castaway. It's so good.
Yeah,
Like
Castaway's
Tom,
really good.
Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg is like a combo because like Steven Spielberg's done hardly any shit films.
Yep.
When you consider how many he's done, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He did that 1941 with John Belushi, and I think that's one of his few.
But
Dogs.
I don't think that's a bad film.
No?
That's one of his early films.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think it's bad.
Okay, I think
bad.
critically it's generally not
Ah.
viewed favourably. But then
These things
but
like
his hit
Duel
rate,
back then as well, wasn't
but
it?
his hit rate is ridiculous.
Jules is good.
Well, the other one's Martin Scorsese. Like everything Martin Scorsese does is generally like.
Yeah, as long as it's quite a lot like Goodfellas.
Well, they are. I mean, I'm not saying they're different, but even the ones he's done that aren't like Goodfellas are considered to be good.
Isn't there one out just now that he's just done?
Killers of the Flower Moon. He's just watched it.
Is it any good?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
It's got good reviews.
Is it got Robert De Niro in it?
Yeah.
Has it got Joe Pesci in it?
No, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, okay.
Joe
Well,
Pesci's retired.
I'm not interested.
Man. Joe Pesci's
Doesn't have
finished.
Ray Liotta either.
Yeah, certainly got not got Ray Liotta. Yes. What was I going to say? Do you know one of the Spielberg films I really like that for some reason I don't know why I like it the most is War of the Worlds. I just thought he did it really well.
Yeah.
I don't think that's one of his best films
No.
There's something about it just sticks with me. Whenever it comes on, I find it really compelling.
because it's got Tom Cruise in it. You've got the hall
Like-
for Tom
like-
Cruise, clearly.
Like the first hour, definitely. The first hour is amazing. When they start attacking.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
But then the whole like Team Robbins scene, it becomes a bit,
it slows down a bit.
right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, they made it all this way and they can't breathe.
Everyone Elena's onto a second
Also, I
GT.
found his son in it
It's all
really
going,
irritating.
it's all
Yeah,
going
he's
south.
annoying.
I found his son in it really irritating.
Yes.
Yeah, he is annoying.
Yeah.
And his daughter's pretty
I
annoying
wanted
as
to
well.
I wanted to slap him and tell him to get over it all.
No, I think that
Yeah,
the actual
fair
characters in it aren't compelling. I just there's something about the pacing and the special effects and the atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
It's just so
Yeah.
well done. And I
It
think
is
that's
well
why
done.
where Steven Spielberg's amazing. He's just got some almost unique talent for just knowing how to produce a compelling
No,
film.
I think it's a good thing about Steven Spielberg is that he can do very sort of deep, profound, meaningful films
Yeah,
like
like-
Schindler's
yeah,
List
yeah.
or
Amazing.
Saving Private Ryan, which are quite like harrowing
That
to
is
watch.
an amazing film.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan is like, oh my God,
Mental.
I feel like I've just been on the beaches.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, but he can also do these like comedies and well, it's Martin Scorsese, like you say, it's all very much the same kind of thing.
And the same goes for Tom Hanks. And actually, you say Saving Private Ryan. I don't know how many films Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks made together, but that's obviously one of them.
Yep.
But Tom Hanks could do stuff like
He can.
Big, and
Yeah.
just
Which is a
silly
brilliant
little
film.
Big
film.
is a brilliant
It's an
film.
Yeah, yeah.
amazing film.
And then
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It's just so moving.
Cool. All right.
Right.
Tangent over.
We're into October.
Very telecoms
Cool.
tangent.
Yeah. Well, if we can't be really self-indulgent in the last pod of the year, then when can we?
No, exactly. Just a reminder of the scores. 8 to Ian, 5 to Scott.
Right. Okay. All to play for.
All to play for. So,
Is the last question like worth 10 points?
Yeah.
Or like
It's worth 10
5,
points, and it's what is Scott's favourite band?
5 points, yeah.
oh, you
I reckon
might
I
get
could
that.
win that
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
What
Just
would you
about-
say?
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, because I'm wearing the t-shirt.
No, it's Metallica.
Exactly, you would have fallen into my trap. Metallica, I think, just edges GNR. With Aerosmith third.
I'll put Guns N' Roses above Metallica.
Yeah,
on
what's
that
your?
list.
Have you got a top three? Was it you? I was talking about. Yeah, it was. We were talking about our band.
Yeah, dead or alive. Yeah.
So I'm going to say my all-time band is Pierre and I agree. John Bonham on drums. My bassist is Tim Comerford, who's Rage Against the Machine and Audioslave. My rhythm guitarist is James Hetfield from Metallica. My lead guitarist is Slash from GNR. And my lead singer is Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. What was yours again?
That's your super band.
That's my all-time...
Yeah, I quite like some of the choices. I like Slash on lead guitar.
I forget I think I did John Bonham.
You agreed with John Bonham.
And then Freddie Mercury
That's
singing.
Yeah,
Malcolm Young on the rhythm.
John Bonham's easy though, because everybody goes, "Oh, he's the best drummer
Yeah,
of
I
all
know.
time."
It's pretty
Lead
It's an
probably,
easy one.
Jimi Hendrix, and then bass. I think I did like,
Jimi Hendrix
Pullman.
retro.
No, you were talking about the guy from The Who, weren't you?
yeah, or the Stones guy.
Keith Moon.
No, the bass guy.
So, do you have any dissent or different views on this, Ian?
I wouldn't pick Jimi Hendrix on guitar.
No.
I like Slash as a lead guitarist. I don't know. I mean, I'm not into like heavy metal as much as you guys are. So, but I do like rock music and blues music. So, I don't know.
You're not... that's
not equipped to talk.
That's not your music taste.
Do you know, by the way, can we get away with this? Well, yeah, I'm going to say it. Because I was speaking to someone recently about a
Put a
certain
little
employee
fucking
of
bookmark
ours
in this.
who's the guy who runs the company,
Yeah.
Lord Stephen Carter, who was likened to a very famous rock musician in terms of how he looks.
Oh, God, I seem to remember that. Who was it?
Eric Clapton.
Oh, that's
and I was
it.
like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God, yeah, he does look like Eric Clapton. Stephen Carter looks like Eric Clapton, as he looked sort of in the late 80s, early 90s, probably.
Yeah. Not a million miles off.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
it's always complimentary if you say that something.
Well, Eric Clapton's not a bad-looking guy. It wasn't like someone
Yeah.
was saying he looks
I don't think
like,
he's going to get sacked over that.
Like Ray
I
Winston.
think that's
but-
nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now I
Okay.
can't look at him anyway the same way.
No.
Have you ever been likened to a celebrity?
No, not a good one.
I used to when I was a student. I used to get a not very complimentary. When I was a student, a film called The Commitments had just come out.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see that?
Oh, I know
And the
that.
lead singer's this sort of fat bloke with a ponytail, and I was a rapidly fattening bloke with a ponytail at that stage. And my mates used to compare me to the lead singer at The Commitments.
Yeah, but he's cool.
Well,
At least
God,
he's-
I wish
at
I had
least
his
he's kind of a
voice.
cool guy.
Jesus,
in
he has
it.
an amazing voice. He had a sort of Joe Cocker
does.
kind of voice.
It's a good film, that.
It's a brilliant film. Love it. But yeah, I don't think they meant it as a compliment
No.
when they compared me to him. What about you?
Rude. No.
I'm gonna
think
think
so.
now. I'm gonna have a little think.
I'll have a think. I can't try and remember.
Yeah, you look like
My
you should
hu-
look like someone, but no
Yeah.
one springs immediately to mind.
Oh no, I have had one person. Michael Dee's husband, I think, once said it was the lady in Greece.
Olivia and John.
Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And that's not bad, is it?
No,
That's
I'd
quite
take
nice
that.
being likened to Olivia Newton-John, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than being likened to the fat guy from Commitments as a
Or,
bloke.
or John Travolta. Imagine if you got it wrong and he said you look like John Travolta.
That would have been bad. Maybe I did get it wrong. I'll have to check. Can we phone a friend?
No, definitely. So anyone listening to this, go and Google Elena from Liberty and make your own mind up.
Yeah. And write in.
Yes, right
Get
in.
some
Let us know.
interaction
Give us
going.
some feedback.
Yeah. Particularly if you live in a random place and you can help with Pierre's stats for random
Oh, yes.
countries being.
From sort of Ulaanbaatar or whatever.
Okay. October. What is the name of BT's multi-cloud network as a service product?
Global Fabric.
Yes.
Oh, well done.
Well done.
Fair play to you, my friend. You deserve to win remembering shit like that.
Yeah. Well done. Okay, next one, quickly. Italian incumbent Tim introduced a series of smart stations that provide access to services such as smartphone charging, digital payments, ticketing, video surveillance, and more. These stations will feature across 13 Italian cities. How many smart stations are expected to be in place across the whole of Italy? I've got some multiple choices. 450, 1,750, or 2,500.
450, innit? No?
1,750.
Oof.
Oh my God, what?
It's amazing how often
They're bad at getting that
amazing how often
percentage-wise playing
fuck
it.
those multiple choices up.
2,000.
2,500. Quite a lot.
Not quite as fucked up as my attempt at an Italian accent.
It was pretty awful.
It suddenly turned into Stavros.
Mate, he's
Fit
sticking
in
to
it.
Scottish accents.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit better at that because I've had the source material of Neil McRae to base it on.
Oh,
Yeah.
your impression is really good.
You think my Neil McRae is
Yeah.
good?
He doesn't think so.
Oh, really? Oh, Neil McRae doesn't.
No, he did an impression of Scott doing an impression of him. But actually
Quite
did
funny.
sound like Neil,
It's
just
quite
talking
meta.
like Neil.
And then I did an impression of him doing an impression of me. No, I didn't. But yeah, I think it's all right.
What was the one, the Irish one? I'm a bishop, you little bollocks.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Yeah, Dennis O'Brien.
we kept trying to. Yeah, I mean, Dennis Bryan doesn't have the strongest Irish accent, but he uses a lot of Irish vernacular, and
He's
like,
got quite a sort of lilting sort
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Southern
He's
Irish
got a cool accent.
Yeah,
well, I think he's Dublin.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
You little ballocks.
little gobshite.
I'm shite.
I mean, that was like his opening statement on the pod. He's like, Telecoms industry shite,
Yeah.
and it's just like, God, this is brilliant. This is great. I'm along for the Irish swearing ride here.
Oh, swearing sounds so much better when you've got an accent behind it, though.
Scottish and Irish,
Scottish and
especially.
Irish.
They're brilliant at it. Cool.
So much better. Okay. According to a study conducted by BT, how many cyber attacks do UK businesses face
It's huge, wasn't it?
every second?
Every
Every
second. Is this multiple choice?
Multiple choice. A, 530, B, 325, or C, 276.
325.
Oh, no. Put the wrong
You
one.
pressed the wrong button.
Sorry.
Can I have the
No,
options
I've
again?
got to take your first answer, Elena. I won.
Can I have the options again?
530, 325, or 276.
530.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jammy bastard.
Oh,
he's
got
Well,
to ten.
he's a toss of the
He
coin.
wins a double figures, I know. For once, you got a 50-51 right.
yeah.
Okay, we've got a Disney one now, but not a pop quiz. So Disney is on the cusp of absorbing the last 33% of Hulu to further their streaming objectives. How much do they expect to pay to close this deal? Multiple choice. A, $8.6 billion. B, $6.3 billion. Or C, $7.5 billion.
6.3. Fucking hell.
8.6.
Oh. This is just, there's all these points that you get randomly because you try to
I know.
answer too soon.
Well, this is the problem because I'm under
let him
under pressure. I'm just going too early.
Yeah.
That's the story of my life.
Just let him go first.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Let's see if you get the next one. What,
No, I think we should have more double entendre.
Why did Ofcom issue a £1.4 million fine to Shell Energy?
Because they're mis-selling broadband. No, it was broadband contract thing. Anyway, something like that. You know what I meant. Just give me a point and fucking move on. No, it's all right.
I mean, maybe I
know it's in the right area, but I can't remember the specifics of it.
All right. Well, they breached consumer protection rules with their phone and broadband service.
Yeah, no,
So-
I wasn't close enough.
Oh, you
I
weren't?
don't deserve a point on that.
You said breach of rules with broadband service, though, didn't you?
Well, you might as well give me one because I'm probably going to lose anyway.
All
so
right.
it
I'm going to
doesn't
give you
really
one.
matter,
I'm
does
going
it?
to be nice. Okay. Pop quiz bonus round. In the same week that the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, launched a new set of rules to tackle digital discrimination, which TV personality announced they were leaving Netflix's popular series Queer Eye? Was it Tan France, Bobby Burke, or Jonathan Van Ness?
The first one.
No.
Well, I've never watched it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was just
Why
having a
did you
1 in
go
3
first,
guess.
then?
Because I thought I'll have a 1 in 3 guess. I mean, I might have been right.
Bobby Burke.
No, it's Jonathan, isn't it?
Bobby Burke.
It is Bobby Burke.
It's Bobby Burke.
Do you even know who this is?
No, I don't either.
Here's a little.
He has no idea.
No, well, none of us. I mean, we don't watch Queer Eye.
Jonathan Van Ness. He's-
Do you watch Queer Eye?
No, but I know who Jonathan
So how do you know?
he's a famous guy.
Isn't that shortened? Didn't he used to have a longer name? Queer Eye for something or other, for a straight guy, something like that.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
Wasn't the whole premise of it like gay guys sort of glamming up straight guys or something? I seem to remember it.
I don't know. I will watch it though after this.
A little bit of trivia. Burke. His surname is Burke.
Yeah, Bobby Burke.
You know, like in England, sometimes people call each other a Burke as a sort of what
yeah.
they think is quite a mild pejorative.
Old fashioned now though, really.
Yeah, it is quite old-fashioned. But for those who still do it, what a lot of people don't know is it's actually Cockney rhyming slang.
Oh, really?
And it's Cockney rhyming slang derived from Berkeley Hunt.
Oh.
So when you
that
call
could
someone
go
a Burke, you're actually doing a lot more than you think you're doing. I
I
know.
didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's one of my favourite bits of trivia, that is.
Oh, good to know.
So when you call someone a Burke, you're actually
You're
going for it.
using the worst swear
The
word.
worst ever.
Worst ever. You never.
We don't
use
even
that.
allow that on this pod, do we?
No, that's the one swear
No,
word we
you
don't use on
can't.
this pod.
You can't.
I think we have done though.
Well, but we can just say Burke.
Mm.
There we go.
Okay, we're into December now, so we've only got 3 questions left.
I'm fucked.
What's the scores?
They're double points now. Let's make them double points.
Triple.
Double points, yeah?
Well, and
So Ian's on 12 and Scott's on 6.
let's make him triple. Lovely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it
You can
interesting.
run away with it.
Go on
yeah.
then.
Okay, we're going to make them triple points.
Keep some
Yeah,
jeopardy
all right
going.
then.
Okay. Number 1. According to Orange Cyber Defence's annual Security Navigator report, by what percentage has the number of cyber extortion victims increased this year? I've got some.
So I'm going to let Ian go first this time. I'm not going to press my button.
A, 34%, B, 46%, or C, 23%.
23%.
Oh,
So what was it 34 or 40 something?
46 or 34.
46. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got 3
so
points.
9-12. Oof.
Oh, suddenly you're not so smug now, are you?
It's a bit harsh though, isn't it?
Because I'm getting sympathy points.
Maybe we don't do that.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. The EU announced...
I think the honour is lost already.
Yeah, it
Ian's,
is,
Ian's effectively won.
Yeah. The EU announced the winners of the €260 million grant for the provision of 5G infrastructure as part of its cross-border connectivity initiative. 42 out of 69 proposals were accepted for this programme. How many countries will benefit? Is it A15, B18 or C21?
18.
See, that was my thinking when I was buzzing first. I might get it right.
True.
But it's a 1 in 3.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, last
He rolled the
question.
dice and it paid off for him. Fair enough.
Good. Okay, last one. By what year did Nokia Bell Labs intend to relocate to New Jersey's upcoming innovation and technology hub? Is it A, 2028? Is it B, 2030? Or is it B, 2026?
26. Oh.
2028. There's a theme emoji.
Your victory is complete.
Ian's on 18 and Scott's on...
9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well done, mate.
That was
Well deserved.
Well
That was good fun. Thank you, Elena. Those are cool.
So next year, shall we get all the panellists that you had on the Telecoms.com podcast for the year, get them all in the room and they can all do the quiz in teams?
God, can you imagine?
4
Well,
teams.
not in this
good.
room.
Each have one of these.
We need a big room.
We
Yeah.
need a big room.
We're going to need a bigger room. Do you know what? I mean, on a slightly more serious note, we did an event this year called Future Vision, which is all off the record, or Chatham House Rules.
Oh yeah, I
But
heard you talk about it.
But it was sort of in the shadow of something we did in 2019 that we called the Telecoms.com podcast live. And this is what made me think about what you were just saying,
No,
like
it wasn't podcast. It was Telecom.
.com live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
But it was very much sort of drawing on the podcast vibe.
Yeah.
And we've had so many awesome guests that it would just be such an obvious event to do.
Yeah.
To just get in touch with all our guests and go, do you fancy just turning up in London and talking shit
Yeah. Be great.
in front of people?
You could do it at Mobile World Congress. Everyone will be there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I don't know about doing something like in Barcelona. Like, logistically, that'd
People
be.
always have commitments.
Like, do you do at Liberty? Do you ever try and do like events in Barcelona?
No, I don't.
I know some of the other PR agencies do it. Like Babel always have that thing on a boat, don't they?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, you compete with either your client events or, events run by journalists themselves
Or other agencies.
or other
Yeah.
agencies. Yeah. So We did try it a couple of years, but yeah, then just all the press conferences got earlier and earlier and earlier, and it just meant it was quite difficult to find a night that everybody was free.
I think what we need to do, like, if she never listens to it any other time, maybe Dee has listened to this one. We need to do something Portugal, Dee.
Yeah.
You need to get us over there.
Fly everyone to Portugal.
She's always
She'd
like
love that.
having these video calls with us from Portugal.
She'd love that.
And she's like sipping a cocktail in the sun. Well, how about sharing some of those good vibes?
No, genuinely, she'd love that.
No, I'm sure she would.
Well, let's make it happen.
Yeah. So people who don't know, Dee is like the founder and owner of the agency that Elena runs on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Have I got that right?
Yeah. No, we went to Web Summit, which was obviously in Lisbon this year. That was good. And we might do a journalist event around that. So if you're interested in coming to Web Summit, we could theme it around that.
Yeah.
Not quite
And
as
you,
big as World Congress.
and I know because we were talking to your colleague Jen over lunch. You had your Christmas do. Last night.
It was fun.
Jen looked like she was feeling a bit hungover, wasn't she?
She said she didn't overdo it, but she was tired. She didn't sleep very well, she said, I think.
Right.
So,
yeah,
because she
me
slept at her
How about you?
in-laws.
Did you? Were you sensible?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that drunk.
It was at Smith's,
I've been
yeah.
way worse.
Been worse.
Smith's again.
Smith's, yeah. It was run.
Was
yeah,
it
because you
where
came
we?
to-
Yeah. That's how I was like, did we go to Smith's?
We did,
And Jen was
yeah.
like, yeah, that's where we had the thing. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
really good.
It was the same room, actually, same room we had. So
Yeah.
it was quite reminiscent of that lunch.
Because that was where I didn't even know Jen was going to be there, and I haven't seen her for years.
Yeah,
And it was like, oh, hello.
yeah. So
like
lovely
goes
to
back.
have her back.
Yeah.
You realise you've been doing this job for a while when you see someone you haven't seen for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that back to the Qualcomm.
That was
days.
fun, that event.
Exactly.
When
Yeah,
was
it
that?
was.
Can't remember what date it was. now.
March.
Yes.
I think it was March,
It
wasn't
was
it?
the
'Cause it
aftermath of MWC and all that. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was coincided with our 25-year anniversary. That's probably,
Cool. Well, congratulations.
yeah.
Right. So I think we're done, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'll-
I've got one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to get your perspective on. So, briefings that you have with our clients, agency clients, how many people, PR people, is acceptable to have on a call or in a face-to-face?
question.
Well, I would have
It sort
thought
of
any more
divides
than one's a
opinion.
bit weird.
Yeah.
I mean, so you might be able to tell me, even though, it might not be obvious to people listening to this who are not journalists or PRs, we're very much sort of symbiotic, or at least a good relationship. In fact, we're having this chat over lunch with Jen, and I was just sort of bitching about the PR industry on the whole, obviously not you guys. But how, like 20 years ago, PR seemed much more, at least from a journalist point of view, their role was to like be close to us, get to know us, and then just be able to be on hand or be able to influence us in some minor benign way on behalf of their clients. Whereas now I get the impression it's a bit more adversarial, and they feel, especially from the US side, that they're there more just to try and stop us saying shit they don't like. Which obviously is futile with people like me and Ian, because we're old school hacks, and
Yeah.
you tell us we can't write something, we'll fucking write it twice as hard.
Yeah.
So that just made me think. When journalists are on a call, when PRs are on a call, what is their role? I always assumed it was for them to not intervene at all. I mean, I suppose unless the bloke suddenly goes mad and starts slagging off competitors in a really like out of order way. But they're mainly there to sort of compare notes with the client afterwards and go, okay, this is what we took from it, and this is what, knowing this bloke, this is how I'll probably write it up. I don't know what you do.
Follow-up action notes. That
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
And so I can't imagine, to answer your question in a circuitous way, I can't imagine why you need more than one PR on it. Why'd you ask?
It just divides opinion a bit within the industry. So
Is
I
it?
was interested to find out.
What about you,
your
Ian?
take.
What do you think?
It depends on how many PR people to have on a call with a
Or a
interviewee.
meeting or an interaction.
I mean, yeah, I think from a journalist perspective, you feel a bit uncomfortable when there's like large numbers of people involved.
Yeah.
I've been on calls before where there's like the person that you're interviewing, and then there's all these figures and because it's increasingly
Lurking.
gone
Yeah, and then-
onto Zoom
yeah.
or
they've
Teams,
got
you can
blacked out
actually
cameras.
see.
Oh,
yeah, they've all
yeah.
got blacked out cameras, and
Yeah.
there's like a cast of thousands. It's like Spartacus or something.
Yeah. And it's weird.
And you're thinking, what's going on here? So I don't mind a couple of people being on, because sometimes you think there's going to be someone maybe from the agency,
Yeah.
if it's a big company, and then the in-house guy, and then
Yeah.
but I think any more than that's really odd.
It's really odd.
actually.
Yeah, I agree.
I did a call with like one of the highest profile interviews I've probably done of the year with Pekka Lundmark.
Oh, right, yeah.
Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. losing track of time. Maybe it was this week. But
yes, it was. It was earlier this week.
It was this week. God. And it only so he's Nokia's CEO, and it only seemed like there was Louise on the call, who's like his like main sort of like she deals with him kind of, and I didn't get the feeling like there was anybody else on that call. It was a Teams call, and I could only see the two of them, so I don't know how they'd have done it otherwise. But which is nice. It's
That's
like
Nokia totally subscribe to that. Actually,
I just think when you've got like lots of
really
people,
it's really good.
Because you sort of feel that they're, I don't know, it's almost like you're doing a presentation to a room if it's more than that. And
I'll tell you what I wonder, like to throw a question back at you, I do wonder how, and I'm sure it varies from company to company, just how stressy companies get out of, so there's one thing, there's like an interview like Ian did with Pekka Lundmark where it's only about 15 minutes and that's much more structured. And then you've got the other extreme is like this podcast, which is incredibly unstructured and protracted. And so the opportunity for someone to fuck up is obviously much higher.
Yeah.
But then you'll get someone like Dennis O'Brien come on. He didn't have any people around him at all, and apparently he's got a lot of entourage. He just didn't bring any of them with him.
I almost think the more senior you go, like you can sort of just go, well, I'm not bringing anybody along because I'm a billionaire and I own it. So it's almost a sign.
Exactly, because I don't think it's just seniority. Because like a couple of times, Dennis O'Brien like had a pop at other CEOs of operators, but I didn't really challenge him on it on the pod. But I was like, you're not comparing apples with apples because you're an entrepreneur, you're an owner. Whereas a CEO, whether it's Pekka Lundmark or Stephen Carter or
they have to answer for their
Margarita Della Valle, whatever. Yeah, they're still answering to the non-exec board and the shareholders.
They're not actually in charge. They're as high as it goes in the organisation, but there's people pulling the strings behind it. Whereas Dennis O'Brien is a guy pulling the strings.
Yeah.
So,
well, except what they say can impact the share price. Right?
It can,
really,
but then
can be terrified.
He's still one of the owners. Like until recently, he was the main owner. So
I think we happened to catch him at a time where he just had to lose a shit ton of equity. In Digicel.
We got the scoop.
Was that the actual
scoop? It on the pod. He said it on the pod.
Was that not public knowledge prior to that?
That's one of the reasons.
I didn't even realise.
That's one of the reasons the Irish press picked it up so much, because he said then that his share price, he was going to be left with 1/10 of it. But it hadn't been announced in the press before that.
So we knew that he had to do some kind of refinancing,
debt restructuring, and
but what wasn't public knowledge was the details of it.
And then the press release came out from Digital a few days later with Rajiv Suri coming in.
I'm so shit at my job. I completely missed all of that. Yeah. Did you realise at the time that it was a scoop?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
and
that's why he wins the quiz.
Yeah, was that your year's highlight? That scoop that you got on the pod? Or?
I think the whole pod was a highlight for me.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good highlight of the year. That
it was. It was a really good one.
And it was so, credit goes to John Strand, who facilitated it.
Yeah.
But when he set it up, I'd honestly never heard of him.
Really?
Again, because I'm shit at my job. And he's like, yeah, you got to speak to this guy. I was like, yeah, all right. And I looked him up and I saw he's got his own website and stuff. By the way, Ian, I've realised why it was so hard to sheath those cans.
Because they're ribbed.
Yeah, well, it's not a rib. They've got a sort of sandpapery, abrasive thing going on.
They are ribbed.
They wrote about it in the Times.
I don't think quite ribbed. I think he's going down the condom
cans.
angle there.
No, sorry, the Dennis O'Brien podcast. They talked about it in the
it's in the Times.
Times.
Yeah, Times, Irish Independent, a few others.
The Times was the only UK one I saw that did a story on it.
So good.
But
it's amazing.
But yeah,
that goes to my point of why you have to value the trade press because they influence the national media.
Yeah.
Oh, we get that quite a lot. Like we were out the other night at BT thing. We were chatting to people from the Mail and the Telegraph. And actually, they're often quite kind when they're chatting to us, and they say, because these people tend to be more generalists.
Yeah,
if they work for a broadsheet.
Exactly. They don't know the details.
They will lean on those of us who are specialists, which we are. And that's fine. I completely understand it. I'm sure if I was in their position, I'd do the same. And it's not like I don't do it. I call it sanity checking. Almost any time I write something up, I see what someone else has written just to make sure I haven't completely missed the angle or some important detail.
Yeah.
And I call that sanity checking. It's not plagiarism. I'll never copy them. I'm just making sure that I haven't missed something really important. I'm going like a dick.
Yeah. Especially when everything's so public with what you do. It's open for scrutiny, isn't it?
Anyone fancy another beer?
Well, I've just cracked open a Hazy Jane.
I've got
She's
mine.
all right. She's okay. Yeah, you can have that. How are we doing for time?
Well,
You're
it's
right.
5:00.
Mm-hmm.
How long have we been going for?
Well,
like 2 hours.
We can certainly wrap up.
Let's make it the longest one ever.
No, do you know what? I'm not going to. I mean, we might all still keep hanging out and chatting, but for the sake of the recording.
Poor listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
I've already bored them with talk of Barbie. These people
Yeah.
work in the telecoms
Barbenheimer.
industry.
Well, do you know what? And this might be a good point to wrap it up. One of the things I like about podcasts, and we were saying it earlier when we were talking about the tangents, is for me a podcast is almost like a social experience. You're sort of you're being involved in someone else's conversation,
it's
but
a
you're
window
almost
into
involved in
that
it. Yeah.
conversation, yeah.
I mean, that's
It's very
why that's one of the reasons I think Rogan's so successful. Is when you listen to Rogan, whether it's with a like comedy buddy or an MMA buddy or Jordan Peterson or whatever, you feel like you're almost in on the conversation that
Yeah.
they're having. And one of the reasons I think that's really useful, I think all of us think there are certain kinds of conversations we'd like to have more. Like every now and then you'll go and see a mate or maybe meet a new person and have a really engaging conversation and you think, fuck, I wish I had more of that.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the role that podcasts do. They sort of fill that social gap a
Definitely.
little bit.
I think
So-
the same about the newsagents. They're very
Yeah.
informal and they dissect the stories in an interesting way.
Yeah, that's
know.
the two ex-BBC ones, isn't it?
Yeah. Ian
Yeah,
Soap.
a lot of people I speak to listen. I don't listen to it, but I've heard a lot of people who really rate
Yeah,
it.
it's really good.
What's wrong?
I think it's John Sopel and Emily Maitlis.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Really mateless.
So they used to be like Newsnight people, and they've just gone off. They're not at the BBC anymore, and they're just chatting. And I should listen to it because I've got to be honest, both of them slightly annoyed me when they're at the BBC. But then again, that could just be them wearing a BBC hat.
You
So
ran out of thing.
No.
Almost done this one.
Pierre's saying just wrap it up, you gobshite. So I will. But no, that's the only point I want to make is to sort of justify this kind of tangential stream of consciousness
Just say
stuff.
Happy Christmas.
Shall I just say that?
Happy holidays.
So I will say, I'll say thanks a lot, Elena. It's great
Oh,
to
you're welcome.
actually
That was so fun.
see you in person this year as well.
Amazing. But I'm always happy to
That's
do
one of
it.
the funniest podcasts we've done. For
Yeah,
me,
it's good fun.
for a participant in it. Maybe not for people listening, but
Well, we'll let our audience be the judge. So I'll wrap it up there. I won't go off on yet another tangent. And Pierre will start lobbing shit at my head if I do. And I'll say thank you, Elena, and thank you, Pierre and Ian, and thank you, our long-suffering audience. And see you in the new year.
Happy holidays.